and with no chance of parole. The Bristol County DA spoke to the press.
This is a great day for the Commonwealth, great day for the family, because the jury has spoken.
Thomas Quinn shaking hands and kissing babies. Hillary Clinton's campaigning in Iowa.
I want to make middle class mean something again. And you cannot do that if you don't have small business really building and driving economic growth.
Appearing at a roundtable in Norwalk, Iowa, Mrs. Clinton focused on the middle class and how the deck is still stacked in favor of those on top. Fox News. We report, you decide.
And now another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. A man said he recently informed his wife he's going to start waxing his chest. Only because the waxing place is right near Golfsmith and trade-in days are almost over. When you trade in your old clubs, you get a 50% bonus towards new ones. He's got a lot of clubs to trade in, so he's going to wax his chest, eyebrows, back, and, well, trade-in days at Golfsmith is in its final days, so hurry in. Golfsmith, anything for golf.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 4433 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 4433.
We want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
And now it's time for the voice.
Don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
I want you to get up right now
and go to the window,
open it,
stick your head out and yell,
Hated man! Top of the world!
The voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Like Mussolini and Kennedy, I'm the cult of personality. The cult of personality. The cult of personality.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Voice of Ocala on a overcast Wednesday afternoon. I am Tom Schmitz coming to you live from the palatial studios of WOCA Radio in the Paddock Mall, right outside the food court entrance to the Paddock Mall in the beautiful brick city of Ocala. If you're within my listening voice, thanks for joining us today on the Voice of Ocala. Coming up today on the Voice of Ocala, in studio, Jared Quigley will be here and his bandmate talking about their new venture, Humans in Disguise. Came into the studio last night, laid down some tracks. I'll be here at 3:15. Also today, Jeff Halcomb, the water czar from the city of Ocala, will be here talking water. And at the 5 o'clock hour, Tony Barnhart, Mr. College Football, joins us. So we got a full day right here on the Voice of Ocala. This is one of these stories that I don't have to take heed of, because I never use these. But I'm sure a lot of you do. A third skimming device has been recovered from a Marion County gas station. This is according to a story on Ocala.com by Austin Miller. The electronic apparatuses were hidden in areas where the debit or credit cards are used to collect personal information from the card user. This one's been found at the Kangaroo gas station. Kelly Probst, a spokesman for Largemouth Communication, which handles media for the Pantry, the parent company Kangaroo, said she would notify company officials about the latest discovery. She declined comment, saying statements should come from either the district or the national level. In the latest incident, Marion County Sheriff's Deputy Robert Rath went to the Kangaroo gas station at 12,995 North US 441 on Saturday and talked with a manager who said an employee noticed a tape used to mark the pumps had been disturbed. Though the employee had made the discovery at about 11 p.m., he did not notify her until the next day at 7:18. Opening the front panel to the pump 2, the manager said she saw a scanning device hooked up inside. The woman said the pump was not damaged other than the tape, which had been carefully removed. Reviewing the store surveillance footage, it showed that a small single-cab pickup pulled at the gas station about April 10th at 5:55, stopped at pump 2. The vehicle's rear bumper was in line with the pump, and 2 people walked on either side of the pump and examined it. The manager said the pump requires a key to open the front panel. However, the key is very universal. This is scary. That it takes a universal key, and if you know the key it takes, it uses the same machine most standard soda machines use. So they pulled the tape off, and then they opened the door, and then they attached the skimmer inside. And then they just sit over with a reader just close to it or within, a quarter mile of it, and they can download it onto a computer. This is why I always go in store to use my debit card or credit card when purchasing gas. I know it makes it more convenient to use the card reader at the pump, but it makes it more convenient for criminals to steal from you that way too. I just take the extra effort and walk a few feet into the store, wait in line. I know sometimes you have to wait in line and everything, but the damage that it could do to your credit and the people stealing your money out of your bank account, and this is the third one. Since March 26th, deputies and Ocala police officers have been given 3 skimming devices that were found at Kangaroo stores. The affected stores were 14870 South US 441 on March 26th, 1986 Southwest 27th Avenue on April 1st, and then this one at North 441. And the thing is, the one at North 441 at 12,995. That's 129 bucks. So that must be way out. I think that's the one out at the split junction of 301 and 441. Or it's the one already on almost going to McIntosh, the one out there. I think those are the farthest ones out. I hope it's not the one at 326 and 441 or the one at 35th Avenue and 441, because those are the two in my neighborhood. And let's be honest, I don't need no criminals in my neighborhood. But just a word to the wise, there have been 3 electronic apparatuses found within the last 3 weeks on credit card slide machines at gas pumps around our area. It's probably somebody who took one of the gas keys from a store when they worked there a year or so ago, and now there's nobody remembers it's gone and everything, so they're running this scam. Just be on the lookout. There's 3 been found. April 1st, the device was uncovered by the Florida Department of Agriculture. The official, a specialist in detecting skimmers, was checking gas pumps countywide. At the time, the official at the agency said the checks were being done statewide, and only 1 device had been found in Marion County. Now there's been 3. Please be careful. These skimming devices, that could ruin your life. They could, if your credit card, they could ruin your credit. Your debit card, they could clean your bank account out. And believe me, it's not easy to get that money back or to replace your credit history. It could cause you great difficulty. So be extra diligent when looking. And what they're talking about, there's this red tape Kangaroo puts on their gas pumps. If that tape's been moved or cut or something, it's easy to see, and you should, report that as soon as you see it. Breaking news out of Massachusetts. A jury has found Aaron Hernandez, former Florida Gator tight end, guilty of murder in the first degree for the 2013 shooting death of Odin Lloyd. That's the end of his football career, people. A Bristol County jury of 7 women and 5 men deliberated for 36 hours over 7 days. They reached a unanimous verdict on the former New England Patriot star. They said murder rose to the first degree due to Hernandez acting with extreme atrocity or cruelty. The conviction carried a sentence of automatic life in prison without the possibility of parole. Aaron's mother, Terry Hernandez, and his fiancée, Shayna Jenkins, cried uncontrollably. You could see Hernandez mouthing, stay strong," to his mother and Jenkins moments before he was placed in handcuffs. Formal sentencing took place about 30 minutes later. Before the sentence was handed down, Ursula Ward, Lloyd's mother, stood before the court. "The day I laid my son Odin to rest, I felt my heart stop beating for a moment," she said. "I felt like I wanted to go into a hole with my son Odin. I forgive the hands of the people who had a hand in my son's murder before or after, and I pray and hope someday everyone out there will forgive them also." So Aaron Hernandez convicted in the slaying of Odin Lloyd of first-degree murder plus the weapons charges and the ammunition charges, sentenced to a mandatory life in prison without the possibility of parole. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Humans in Disguise join us in the studio. You're listening to the Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Whenever you're searching for an attorney, you want somebody with knowledge who has a commitment to our community and our state. Such is the case with Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, in everything from car and other motor vehicle accidents, work accidents, personal injury, and wrongful death cases. Daniel L. Hightower also handles Social Security disability and bankruptcy. Call him today at 352-629-7777 or check out danhightower.com. Daniel L. Hightower, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. Does osteoarthritis bring frustration with every step? Do pain and stiffness affect your everyday activities? If so, you may be interested in a research study for the treatment of pain associated with osteoarthritis. Rinstar Medical Research is conducting a research study of an investigational medication for individuals between the ages of 40 and 75 and who have been treated for the pain associated with osteoarthritis for at least 3 months. Qualified participants will receive study-related medical care and investigational medication. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. To learn more about this osteoarthritis study, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Again, that's 352-629-5800.
The biggest air show in the South is back in Lakeland. Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo celebrates its 41st year all week long, April 21st through April 26th. This year promises to be bigger, faster, and louder than ever before. Experience the heart-thumping, awe-inspiring performance of the Breitling Jet Team's U.S. debut and the Air Force Thunderbirds. See thousands of aircraft both in the air and on display, and an open flight line of historic warbirds. Sun and Fun offers fun for the whole family with daily air shows, a kids zone, a classic car show, and lots of great food. Florida residents can make it a weekend the family will remember by coming Saturday, April 25th and Sunday, April 26th to experience 3 shows for the price of 1. See the Breitling team perform at 3 p.m. Stay for the night air show, which includes aerobatic flyers, pyrotechnics, and a dazzling fireworks display. And come back Sunday for an additional show. Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo, celebrating its 41st year all week long, April 21st through April 26th in Lakeland. It's bigger, it's faster, it's louder, it's Sun and Fun.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Clouds and some intervals of sun today with a shower and heavy thunderstorm around this afternoon. The high today 84 to 88. Partly cloudy tonight with a shower or thunderstorm in the area, low 66 to 70. More clouds and sun tomorrow with a shower and heavier thunderstorm around in the afternoon, high 83 to 87. For Friday, mostly cloudy with a shower and thunderstorm during the late morning and afternoon hours, the high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala. Coming back to a song called Come Alive by a local group here in town, Humans in Disguise. We have 2 members of Humans in Disguise in the studio with us. Jared Quidley, he's vocals and guitar. You heard him singing there. And Elliot Eisler, he plays drums, or, the proper word, percussion. Hi, guys. How are y'all?
Great, Tom. How are you?
Good. Had a pretty good time with you 2 guys last night.
Yeah, that was fun.
We were here till about 8 o'clock last night, I guess.
Yeah, talking.
Messed up my whole viewing of television though, and everything. I wasn't able to watch cheesy comedy shows on CBS. It was ridiculous. Right?
Nice to have a change.
It was nice to have a change. And actually, the fun thing is, you guys are a tad bit younger than me. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are in your 20-somethings.
Yeah, I'm actually 40.
Yeah, stop lying. Okay? Grecian formula doesn't do that good. Just for men doesn't make the hair that color.
Yeah, I'm 28. Elliot is 29.
I'm still 29.
See, he's a 20-something.
He's not old yet. He's not until he's 30. So.
If that's old, I'm going to beat both of you up. I'm just going to tell you. So our music, and the conversation about music came up last night. And Elliot actually said, well, what kind of music do you like, Tom? And I don't know if you noticed, Jared, but when I told him, he kind of looked a little surprised there for a moment.
Yeah. You came back with Macklemore, which caught me off guard a little bit. And then you went ahead and showed us some stuff that we actually haven't heard before. That was awesome. I mean, that's right in our wheelhouse of what we do. And was that some old Pearl Jam? And
it was some old Pearl Jam, some Temple of the Dog. Yeah. It was pretty good stuff.
Yeah, and it's like, it's.
Although, by the way, we do have to give Jared props. Nobody could come up with a name, and Jared said it's dog something.
Yep. I knew it was dog. The funny
something.
thing is, I saw something come across my Facebook today where they're trying to get the master recordings to those Temple of the Dog recordings.
Mm-hmm.
The guy at the studio still has them. So
wow.
That's funny that we talked about that last night.
But music is one of those genres. Don't you think music's one of those areas where it's kind of like music and sports have a lot in common? People say, what do you mean by that? Because no matter what's going on in the world, no matter how bad something is, no matter how much people disagree, the one thing that can bring people together is music.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. I've seen it, it crosses language barriers. You can be playing a song and in China, and they won't have a clue what you're saying, or wherever it may be, if they don't speak English, or vice versa. If somebody, from another language is playing here and we don't understand them, it doesn't really matter. I mean, music is music. You're listening to the beat. And lyrics do matter, but you're right. It is that communal thing across the whole world.
I told you guys about a concert I attended in Mexico City. Yeah. I went and actually saw Rage Against the Machine in Mexico City in the mid-'90s.
Yeah.
And I promise you, every song Rage did was in English.
Yep.
Yeah. There were about 6,000 people in this warehouse. There were a lot of English-speaking people in this warehouse, but it was predominantly Spanish-speaking, and it didn't matter 1 minute.
It really is amazing.
It didn't matter a minute. So now you guys are kind of a new formation within the last year or so. Is that correct?
Yeah. October of 14, we kind of officially said we're gonna do something. Previously I played with the Blue Jays band.
Yeah.
And then we broke up in September, and I would lolled around for a couple months, and Elliot asked me, hey, what are you doing? He was the first one to ask me, because he had played with us a little bit in the Blue Jays. And I said, I don't know. I've got all these songs. Let's do something. So we officially played our first gig in December.
Yeah, early December. And then we've been going strong. I mean, we're already booked pretty much through May. And
was that a rush job from October to December? Was it a rush job, or was it because you two already had a repertoire with each other? Yeah. It was easy to go in and start rehearsing, and 2 months, 8 weeks was probably a pretty good period.
Yeah,
because you two knew each other already.
Ironically enough, we really don't practice probably as much as we should, but I'm blessed. Jared's very talented. I mean, this guy's a songwriting machine, and I think I'm all right at what I do as far as being able to put a beat to something pretty quick, and things just really click between the two of us, and we've been able to, without a lot of practice, and been able to get into the studio and get stuff together, get booking, and kind of just really pick up where some of the Blue Jays stuff fell off. We were able to kind of maintain some contacts, and this also is kudos to the town of Ocala as far as just being supportive of musicians, and we've been able to really get into a lot of places and stay busy. And
let's talk about that for a minute. Ocala and live music, because there's places. One of our sponsors, Eaton's Beach, has live music. Yeah, Randy Quinch's, Chef Dave Del Rio, they have music out there. You guys are there, play there quite often.
Yep.
I guess O'Malley's downtown has music every now and then. Yep. There's the garage at Charlie Horse that the 50-somethings and older love to come to, which drives me crazy. But anyway, that's a totally different thing. Then there's the porch area that I attend on a regular basis at Tilted Kilt. And Mojo's, another sponsor here at the radio station. Yeah. Other than that, every now and then they'll have something in the cup, I guess, or something. But other than that, there's not really a huge, restaurant or nightclub or venue really for live music here, is there?
No, I mean, it's pretty much, it's Eaton's Beach and Gator Joe's. I don't like where. Those are the places.
And they're not really in town. It's a drive.
Yeah. But those are probably the biggest places to play around here as far as reaching the crowd, maybe. And it's on the lake, so it's beautiful. But here in town, it's Mojo's.
Yep.
And who else? Who am I forgetting?
Well, obviously the Cup. I mean,
the Cup of the Irish,
and then
which
Charlie
is
Horse and Tilted Kilt. I mean, and you guys weren't even realized about Tilted Kilt until we talked about that last night.
Yeah, we've never played there. We've heard good things. We have a lot of friends, obviously, who play there, people we know, but we haven't played there yet.
The music scene in this town, is it a buddy scene, or is it a dog-eat-dog scene?
I'd lean towards more buddy, but it's a little bit of both. I mean,
I know it's got to be a little competitive, but there's most everybody in the music scene is cordial to everybody else.
Yeah,
correct?
that's what
Absolutely.
it is. Yeah.
But the thing that I found though is there's not a whole lot. I found this out with the Blue Jays, and then of course now there's not a whole lot of original music. There's a lot of people who play
cover
music
bands
and a lot of cover bands. Fine musicians.
Oh, by the way, we forgot the pie. We forgot pie.
Oh, pie, of
Yeah,
course.
we forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew
We haven't played there either.
But I knew we were forgetting someplace.
Yeah. But there's a lot of talented musicians around here, but not a lot of people that are big on cover or on originals, or at least they don't try and push their music. I haven't heard, whereas we're primarily original. And when we play around, we do play covers, obviously, but we're focusing on our album.
Right.
And, we want to take it to the limits with our own music.
Well, I know you're going to find this shocking, but do you know who's quite accomplished? He won't say it on the air, but is a quite accomplished musician and was part of a very good bluegrass band for a while.
Who's that?
Buddy Martin.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Buddy's got some. He's recorded, wrote a song, and everybody. Buddy did pretty well back in his day.
Nice,
cool.
And he's a huge music lover as well. Buddy likes. You'd be amazed. You'd think you're amazed at what's on my MP3 player. You'd be fascinated by what's on Buddy's because it's pretty good. So if I had to ask each one of them, which I'm going to ask, we got about a minute to go. Right now, Jared, not your music. Right now, if I went out and pressed play on your CD player or Sirius satellite or whatever you have in your vehicle, what am I going to hear? What music am I going to hear?
Creed.
I was fixing to throw you right out of the studio.
That was my first CD ever, Human Clay by Creed, honestly. But right now, honestly, what's in my CD player is my own album because I'm listening to it, still trying to find faults. That's what I do to my own music. And I'm about sick of it. So, but we're right in the middle of that. I don't know. What do you listen to on a normal basis?
Yeah, Elliot, what's in yours right now?
Right now, I've been digging this band out of Austin, Texas called Spoon. That's one I showed you the other day. I've just been listening the heck out of their new album. And,
now I'm going to have to go out and listen to it.
Yeah, Spoon is really good. And then the other one, I guess right now I'm really listening to a lot is the new Queens of the Stone Age album called Like Clockwork.
I love Queen of the Stone
They're
Age.
good. Yeah, that is a good
really
album.
love.
And,
hey, we're talking with Humans in Disguise, Jared Quidley and Elliot Eisler. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll find out exactly what it takes to write music. Is there a special formula? Is there do you got to be like a gifted? Do you have to have the gift of gab? What it takes to write some music and come up with melodies to go with it? We'll ask that next, right here on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
When you were a kid, you had all sorts of toys. Toy cars, boats, trucks, entire toy boxes full of fun. Of course, you never really outgrow your toys, do you? It's just that now, instead of a box full, you have a garage full. Cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, and more. As you get older, your love of toys just gets stronger. So protect those toys the best way possible by switching to Allstate. An Allstate agent can help do the switching, paperwork, bundle all your policies together, and even find you a bunch of discounts. So if you love your toys, make sure you protect your toys by making one call to an Allstate agent.
Protect all your toys with Allstate and the McDonald Agency. Established in 1985, we have offices in Ocala and the Villages to better serve you. Give us a call at 622-2333. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Are you in good hands?
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. A temporary lockdown of the U.S. Capitol Visitor Center this afternoon after a one-passenger gyrocopter landed in the middle of the West Lawn. The unidentified pilot's lucky. He's okay, but Capitol Police were prepared to shoot him down. He's under arrest. Former New England Patriot player Aaron Hernandez found guilty of the 2013 murder of Odin Lloyd. Then he was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. The Bristol County DA spoke to the press.
This is a great day for the Commonwealth, great day for the family, because the jury has spoken.
Thomas Quinn shaking hands and kissing babies. Hillary Clinton's campaigning in Iowa.
I want to make middle class mean something again. And you cannot do that if you don't have small business really building and driving economic growth.
Appearing at a roundtable in Norwalk, Iowa, Mrs. Clinton focused on the middle class and how the deck is still stacked in favor of those on top. Fox News. We report, you decide.
And now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. A man said he recently informed his wife he's going to start waxing his chest. Only because the waxing place is right near Golfsmith, and trade-in days are almost over. When you trade in your old clubs, you get a 50% bonus towards new ones. He's got a lot of clubs to trade in, so he's going to wax his chest, eyebrows, back, and, well, trade-in days at Golfsmith is in its final days, so hurry in. Golfsmith, anything for golf.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 4433 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 4433.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock & Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock & Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock & Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Ocala, you asked for it, now Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens does it for you. You asked for more Duke de Rone azaleas at history-making low prices like $2.99. Now you've got it. Bob Wines has received another fresh shipment of those wonderful azaleas. These are salmon pink Duke de Rone semi-dwarf azaleas that are $5.99 anywhere else, but Bob's still selling them for just $2.99. Want larger ones? They've got ever-blooming red ruffle azaleas, regularly $5.99. You get 6 for $29.99. Here are more of this week's specials: daylilies, gardenia daisies, ivy geranium hanging baskets, and much more, all buy one, get one free. And super spring veggies by the 4-pack, just $2.49. Don't forget Bob's famous pine straw mulch, just $4.99, $4.49 when you buy 10 or more. Hurry though, these bargains won't wait. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, homegrown, locally owned since 1952.
What are the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking? Will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
I am the one money, take your fame, take this life, it's lived in vain. I don't want no more, no more, no more, no more.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala. Once again, that is off the album. What's the name of the album, Jared?
It's Humans in Disguise.
Hold on, let me put it. What's the name of the album?
It's self-titled. It's
Humans in Disguise. That is the song called
Hold Me Close.
Hold Me Close. On the album Humans in Disguise, we have Humans in Disguise in the studio with us, Jared Quidley on vocals and guitar, Elliot Eisler, the drummer or the percussionist. Got to get that right.
I do a little both.
I understand.
He dances a little too. It's just not.
Also the band Cook.
I understand. Band Cook. You see, now that's something I could get into, the band Cook.
Yes.
I remember my only soiree into the live music scene was after some buddies of mine and I went to Six Flags over Georgia, and we saw this band called Rare Breed. And a bunch of cool guys, 17, 18 years old. They had to audition so they could play the train station stage right next to the train. So as the train pulled up and the whistle blowed, they had to make sure their sets. But anyway, great guys. And I was working at Six Flags at the time, and we would sit afterwards and watch that because that's where all the girls would hang out. Because these were this is the middle '80s, and they were hair bandish type guys and everything. The girls would hang out there, so we would hang out there. And I was always a large gentleman, not always a heavy-set gentleman, but always before I quit working out and playing football, I was always big enough where I could intimidate people pretty easy. And one day, Chris comes up to me, the lead singer, and says, "Hey, we're going to Meridian, Mississippi to play the Dusty Club. We need somebody to go work security for us. Would you like to go?" I'm 19. I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go. Yeah, why not? I'll go." Security was code for you bring everything heavy off the van into the bar.
They got you.
Hey, Jerry, we need some security.
Yeah, you still doing that?
Yeah, that was my, I'm a quick learner. I said, there's bouncers all in this place. Why am I here again? Chris said, well, in case anybody gets close to us. I said, you sure it wasn't so I could bring all the heavy speakers and all? He said, well, that didn't hurt the situation, did it?
You were here, so we figured.
But they did pay for my hotel room and all my food for that weekend. And back then it was 18 and above. You could enjoy adult beverages. So we had a good time. And they gave me $75 for the evening. So
It's a win-win.
Well, hey.
let me tell you about
it.
In a time when I was making $200 a week, $75 for one night, But I was never doing it again because I noticed as I was unloading everything, they were sort of just putting tape down, put this here. How important, though, is making sure that you as bandmates share equally in everything that needs to be done?
It's the most important thing, I think, to keeping a band together.
Yeah.
I've dealt with it before in previous bands, previous people, making sure everybody knows what they're doing. It's written out, it's clear, and there's a mutual respect. And if somebody's going to do something here, it needs to be known if they're going to do a little bit more than the other person so that, there's no anger saying, hey, you didn't do this or you're not doing what you're supposed to do. For me and Elliot, luckily, we're both pretty laid-back, easygoing guys, kind of similar personalities. So we just kind of take things with a grain of salt. If somebody messes up, we're like, everybody's human.
In disguise.
In disguise.
And it works out well. I think it comes down a lot to just like any relationship, communication is key, and just we've kind of defined our roles. We have brought on two other guys for this live show for Tonic, two great guys, a bassist named Ben Brocious and our guitarist David Scaff, and but for the most part, it's mainly Jared and I, and as far as handling the major core responsibilities, and it's just good communication and say, hey, this is your responsibility, these are my responsibilities. We take care of it, and because primarily we play as an acoustic duo around town, and it's just it's been working out really well so far, and I guess that's the key to any relationship.
You mentioned Ben and David, but also the voice you heard on there was Kim Phillips, a girl singing with me, doing that duet.
It's kind of, by the way, that was kind of, I think the first thing that came to mind to me was a very haunting voice. Yeah. She has a haunting vocal when you hear her. Cool, it's really cool. Kind of with a little, not as raspy, but kind of Stevie Nicks type.
I can see that.
Yeah, I could,
especially on that track too. It's
right,
like, as
on
you get
that
towards the end of
track.
it, it's
Oh,
just
really?
her and him singing, and man, it's just this emotion that comes through on the album that just it's very evoking, and I've been very pleased with how it came out. We only have this is a 5-song EP right now.
Right.
We're going to do 7 more songs here by the end of the year is our goal. Have a nice full 12-song, maybe with a secret 13th.
How much of music? How much? I mean, on any given album, because I know some music is filler music that you make that just you can shut your mind off and you can just listen to it and it's a nice beat and you can just go. And then there's emotion and heartfelt into other songs. Mm-hmm. How difficult is that trade off, or is it a difficult trade off? Because it seems to me all the time that the catchy filler type turn your brains off music is what seems to sell the most, while the heartfelt stuff that really has emotion to it sometimes takes a back seat. Is that something you even think about when you're putting music together?
I don't think that's always true. But like you're saying, poppy, really generic stuff tends to sell really the most. It's, you're not listening to lyrics. It's just a good beat or whatever. Personally, I don't write thinking anything's filler, and I try and put only the best stuff on our recordings, play out only the best songs. If it's a bad song, I don't play it, I kind of feel that. But people are always going to like and dislike certain songs. If you think it's good, one of your fans may not, but they may like another song, I don't think, it's not really a trade-off for me. It's just finding what people like. As far as this EP goes, we've already, I think 5 people or so have listened to it, not including family or including family so far, and it's different. Everybody's favorite song is a little different. So,
do you find that sometimes things you write that you think might not be as good as, I know everything you write, you put your heart into, but like, I'll give you a prime example. I followed Dave Matthews around in the middle 90s, and the song What Would You Say, where he's talking about the dogs barking and everything. Yeah. Dave Matthews said that song was literally written as a goof.
Yeah.
And it ended up being the one that people liked the most. And he was like, we were just goofing one day, and we were like, what would you say if you were a dog and you bit the mailman and stuff? And they put that song together, and that was for a long time their best well-known song.
And a great live song, yeah.
It's a great live song. Do you find sometimes what you think isn't going to work surprises you and works?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes I'd even when you say it's just a goof, I think almost sometimes you're writing a song and sometimes you can be almost too serious about it. And then when you just relax and put something down, that ends up just almost coming through and just.
We've written songs. We write songs. Every night we play out, we end up writing a song or two just from playing around. Yeah. He starts a beat or I start a chord. We just start going. I make up lyrics on the spot. That's just one of the things.
Last night, you two last night. We did 6 tracks last night.
Yeah.
1-minute tracks, just rhythm tracks. And I think, in my opinion, the best track out of the 6 was the one that the discussion was, you just start something on the drums and I'll figure out something to put with it.
Yeah.
I think it's just that raw. It's like what you're saying, like people, how does language not become a barrier? It's like music's just energy. And when you have that creativeness going, it's just like, what are we going to do? Oh, let's just make there's a raw energy to it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's a really big part of it, honestly.
Now, we got about a minute and a half left. Now, I can't go into the specifics of what's happening this weekend because it's a paid gig for a lot of bands and stuff and for the city, and so they advertising time, we can't really give away specifics, but you guys are playing a pretty big gig this weekend.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to find out about it, can we go to Humans in Disguise Facebook page? It's pretty big downtown on Citizen Circle. It's on Citizen Circle. You guys are opening up for a big gathering on, I think it's Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. So how can people find out about that information? Yeah. Can they go to, tell them your Facebook page or your website?
The concert's this Friday. It starts at 6:30 sharp. We're the opening act for a bigger band. Go to humansindisguise.com to find out about it.
Yeah, I put a link to get tickets there and everything last
or
night.
Facebook.
Or on our Facebook page. And,
HumansInDisguise.com.
Yep, or look us up. Give us a like on Facebook.
Or look it up on Facebook, because, I mean, this is Friday night. This is a big deal for you, too.
Yeah.
It's our biggest show yet, and we're playing with a well-known band, which we're honored to be playing with, to be asked. So.
Well, you can say the band name.
Oh, it's Tonic.
Yeah, you're playing with Tonic.
Yeah, Platinum Award winning.
Right.
We were dancing around it.
So no, we're dancing around the event, the event, and who's putting it on and who's sponsoring it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're not paying to be on the radio, so we're not going to talk about them.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
It would be right to the Martones to let somebody freely get advertising. Because I brought two interesting guys in to talk about their band and how people can find them, and then just would be. But y'all are opening for Tonic this weekend. If you want to find out more information, it's HumansInDisguise.com.
Yep.
There's a link there where you can get whatever you need for the event.
Exactly.
Or Humans in Disguise Facebook page. Go out and like your Facebook page.
Yes.
Now, when in there, because Mojo's and Eaton's Beach advertise with us, we can talk about that. When are the next time you're at either one of those locations?
Saturday, Eaton's Beach.
Saturday at Eaton's
6
Beach.
to 10.
Saturday at Eaton's Beach, 6 to 10.
Yeah.
You'll be downstairs.
Yep.
Which is that's just a great venue, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the door, you guys told me something last night I hadn't thought of. With the doors closed, it's a garage.
Yeah.
It's like playing in a garage.
It's really interesting.
Which is great. But with the doors open and you get the vastness of the lake and everything. Sunset, you get the view while you're playing. I mean, you can't beat that.
Oh, no.
You musicians, I tell you what, y'all live the life.
Well, we're trying to make it our life's work and our only life's work.
Speaking of that, what do the two of you do in your real lives?
I work at the...
when you're not rock stars.
I'm at the produce department at Publix at Parkview Commons.
There you
How
go.
doing, everybody?
So
I'm actually
you're
on my lunch break right now.
You're the guy chopping the melons and the pineapples and all, making the little bowls to go.
You know it.
There you go. What? Now you work for somebody that we know here a lot at our show.
Mm-hmm.
You work for Clint Lewis. Is that right?
Clint Lewis. Yeah, that's right.
Angie's in Hawaii right now, so she can't hear me.
Yeah, it's insurance, State Farm.
Angie Lewis, State Farm.
Yes, sir. Like I said, hopefully we're trying to, both be rock stars and make this our full-time gig. But until we, sell out Madison Square Garden or something, we're going to continue in our day jobs as well as music.
Well, check them out at HumansInDisguise.com or Humans in Disguise Facebook page to see what they got going on Friday night downtown on Citizen Circle. Or Saturday night, check them out at Eaton's Beach. They're there from 6 to 10.
Yep.
Jared Quidley, Elliot Eisler, thanks so much for stopping by, and thanks for what you did for us last night, putting down some tracks.
Thank you.
But I need one of those EPs, by the way.
Yeah,
got
I got one for you.
Right there.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'll tell you what Buddy Martin has in line, or Buddy may even call in, but I'll tell you what's coming up in hour 2 right here on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
They say diamonds are always a girl's best friend. April's Diamond Month at Goss & Son Jewelers. Check out their Tacori engagement and bridal sets and beautiful diamond anniversary band. Hand-selected by the Goss family, Teddy and Jerry Goss and Cammie McLeod. You can choose these beautiful diamonds just for you or your loved one. Visit Goss & Son Jewelers downtown on the square and let the diamond consultants help you select a one-of-a-kind piece. Goss & Son, downtown for 65 years.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige, it's all there in our name.
If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and were worried because you couldn't get in, I've got some good news for you. Seating is now available. While you're there, look up Chef Dave Del Rio. He'll buy you a drink. Now is the time for you to finally see firsthand what your friends are talking about. At Eat and Speed Sandbar and Grill, try Chef Dave's tantalizing Louisiana menu. Check out those gorgeous Lake Weir sunsets. Eat and Speed Sandbar and Grill on beautiful Lake Weir. Seating now available.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For the rest of your Wednesday, a shower, a thunderstorm, otherwise cloudy and warm, low 69 to 71. For Thursday, clouds and sun with a shower, a thunderstorm, high 85 to 87. Thursday night, low 67 to 71. Friday, a shower, a thunderstorm, high 86 to 89. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Andy Robb.
This weather brought to you by OcalaForSale.com, where you too can be a sellout. Give them a call at 629-1663 or just go to OcalaForSale.com.
WOCA AM 1370. 96.3. 96.3
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Skip ice cream and have gelato. Yeah, it tastes rich because it's denser than ice cream. Gelato, you should know, has half the fat of most ice creams because it's made with milk, not cream. Go ahead and order the pad thai. Just stick it in the fridge. Eat the cold leftovers the next day. You want the resistant starch. Punctuality is one of the most difficult behaviors to change since it's deeply rooted in a person's personality.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Locally owned and operated since 1957. We are The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala. Let's go right out to the phone lines and join a man who's on his way en route to the show. A busy show today as he has Jeff Halcomb, the water czar, in hour number 2. Buddy Martin, there's a lot of water falling out there. Be careful.
Yeah, I just came through a little squall there. I'm here over on Easy Street now. It's let up, thankfully, so I want to use my umbrella. Yeah, a little surprised here. Mayor Glenn's going to call in, too, because he says his plane's late. He's on his way to Lockport, New York, for the funeral of the officer who was slain, or died in that accident. So he'll be calling in, and we'll have Jeff Halcomb at 4:15, Tony Barnhart in the Sports Hour, and I've recovered a piece from back in the day from Aaron Hernandez. I had a sit-down, basically, interview with him. It's not great quality, but he talks about his relationship with his coach and where he was when he came to Florida after his dad had died, and how Urban Meyer sort of filled that role briefly, and some of the things that they did, which does two things. Number one, it makes you wonder if anything the guy ever said was true, but number two, it verifies the fact that Urban Meyer did, in fact, try to rehabilitate this guy, who, of course, was sentenced today to life in prison.
Yeah.
So that will be interesting. We'll see if we can get it on the air today. If not, maybe tomorrow, and play a piece of that just to give you a sense of how this guy who became a monster later on, apparently, was what he was like then and what he's like now. So that's what's happened. By the way, enjoyed the music, enjoyed hearing the guys on, and looking forward to some of those tracks.
So am I. They left me the EP, the 5-hit EP, so I'm looking forward to it. Buddy, have safe travels in. We're going to wrap up hour number 1, and we'll see you here shortly in hour number 2.
All right, thanks.
Coming up next, Buddy Martin joins the show for hour number 2. Jeff Halcomb from the Water Czar from the city of Ocala. That's what Buddy's nicknamed him, the Water Czar. He'll join the show, and in hour number 3, like Buddy said, Tony Barnhart joins us, Mr. College Football. A lot of spring games have taken place. A lot still to take place. Tony Barnhart will talk college football. All that today on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Guy Harvey Checking is now exclusively available at Gateway Bank. With Guy Harvey Checking, you will receive Gateway's premium checking account plus several other Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation features, including membership to the Guy Harvey Hammerhead Nation, free Guy Harvey t-shirt, and an exclusive Guy Harvey debit card. At Gateway Bank, we will make a $50 donation to the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation for every new account opened. This is just one more reason why people choose Gateway Bank. Sign up today for your exclusive Guy Harvey Checking account with Gateway. Details available at gatewaybankcfl.com, member FDIC.
Hello, I'm Tom Schmitz, here to tell you about Ocala, a great resource for any business and a proud partner of the CEP. Ocala offers your business radically new technology called Next Generation Websites. Sites that do not wear out, they automatically adapt to new technology like smartphones, tablets, and the next big thing. Why pay for technology that starts becoming obsolete the moment you buy it? With Ocala, there is so much more. Built into the Ocala platform is an unmatched array of business solutions adaptable to any business. Ocala is a superb example that cutting-edge technology can grow and prosper in Marion County. And I should know because they handle my website, ktforfun.com. Ocala has assisted numerous companies in Marion County that have succeeded online. You can learn more by visiting them online at ocala.com. That's OCOOS.com, or drop by their downtown Ocala location at 116 South Magnolia Avenue. Find out how Ocala can provide your business with everything you need to succeed online.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, it's our business to make your business better. Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
The biggest air show in the South is back in Lakeland. Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo celebrates its 41st year all week long, April 21st through April 26th. This year promises to be bigger, faster, and louder than ever before. Experience the heart-thumping, awe-inspiring performance of the Breitling Jet Team's U.S. debut and the Air Force Thunderbirds. See thousands of aircraft both in the air and on display, and an open flight line of historic warbirds. Sun and Fun offers fun for the whole family with daily air shows, a kids zone, a classic car show, and lots of great food. Florida residents can make it a weekend the family will remember by coming Saturday, April 25th and Sunday, April 26th to experience 3 shows for the price of one. See the Breitling team perform at 3 p.m. Stay for the night air show, which includes aerobatic flyers, pyrotechnics, and a dazzling fireworks display. And come back Sunday for an additional show. Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo, celebrating its 41st year all week long, April 21st through April 26th in Lakeland. It's bigger, it's faster, it's louder, it's Sun and Fun.
Visit
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Guilty of murder and sentenced to life without parole. The Aaron Hernandez murder trial is over.
Jury members saying after sentencing there were many tears during their discussions. Odin Lloyd's sister, Olivia Taboo, spoke emotionally after the decision was handed down.
It kind of doesn't feel like we're here, we're living in a dream world and then still have to face reality.
The family also saying it forgives those responsible for Lloyd's murder.
Fox News Radio's Gernal Scott. The pilot of a one-man helicopter is under arrest after landing it on the lawn outside the U.S. Capitol.
Police rolled in a robot to check out the makeshift one-propeller gyrocopter. The contraption has a United States Postal Service logo on the back of it. The president has been briefed on the landing, but inside, lawmakers are going about their business as usual.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. The Fed says the economy grew moderately from mid-February through March. Fox News, we report, you decide.
And now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. A man said he recently informed his wife he's going to start waxing his chest. Only because the waxing place is right near Golfsmith, and trade-in days are almost over. When you trade in your old clubs, you get a 50% bonus towards new ones. He's got a lot of clubs to trade in, so he's going to wax his chest, eyebrows, back, and, well, trade-in days at Golfsmith is in its final days, so hurry in. Golfsmith, anything for golf.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 4433 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 4433.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma. Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah! You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Hello, welcome to Hour 2. I'm Buddy Martin, joining the program in progress. Almost caught me off guard there as I was listening to a tape. And we'll hear some of that a little bit later on. Glad to be with you. Tom carried you the first hour. The Voice of Ocala with Tom Schmitz, a.k.a. Schmitty, and many other things like Georgia Southern Tom, which we won't really get into right now. Today on the program, we've got the mayor of Ocala, who's on his way to a funeral for the officer who died in the accident. And I think he may be on the line with us now. He normally is in the studio. Today he's headed to Lockport, New York, to attend a special service, and Mayor Gwen joins us now. Mayor Gwen, your plane was late taking off, huh?
Yeah, buddy. It's not going to be leaving until about 5:50.
Okay. Explain to folks what's happening there, Kent.
Well, Jared Forsyth, he grew up in Lockport until he was 30 years old when he came down here 3 years ago. So we're going up to Lockport to his funeral up there, to a viewing tomorrow, and then the funeral Friday morning. So that's where we're headed. Myself, and Chief Graham and some other folks in the police department are heading up there.
Now, you attended, obviously, services this week over at First Baptist. In fact, I was on the way over, was it Monday?
Monday.
I was going way over to go over to down 17th, and I was in a hurry to take my dog to the vet, and I called Tom. I said, something's happened out here because there's so much traffic, and they're highway patrolling at every stop street, and I said, what is going on? Is there some kind of, is the president coming down or something? And I was talking to Tom. Tom said, no, it's probably Officer Forsyth's funeral at First Baptist, and that's exactly what it was. So can you tell us a little bit about that? I know that it was an emotional time for a lot of people. There were as always, a lot of officers of the law there from out of town attending, and I understand that his father spoke and so on. Can you share with us a few things about that?
Yeah, there were people literally from all over the country. One gentleman who's part of our Sister City program from Ireland, Detective Sergeant, was here from Newbridge, and it was good. Officer Forsyth's father, Mr. Haley, he spoke, did a great job. It was an amazing funeral, and everybody did a good job. It was well organized, and Jared would have been proud.
You don't really know somebody and their family till you attend something like this, and you find out some amazing things about people after they're gone. What are the 2 or 3 insights that you gain from the Forsyth family and about the officer and about his friends, and what is your sense now as you go up to head to Lockport? That's Long Island, right?
No, it's just a little close to Niagara Falls.
Oh, it's just upstate. Yeah, upstate. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Well, the first thing was their faith. Their faith is so strong, and obviously that's what's getting them through this, would be the first thing I noticed. And the next thing is just how much everybody loved Jared around town. Everywhere you would go, people would go, say, oh, I know Jared. Yeah, he's a great guy. We love Jared. When we would ask for things, people to donate things, to help out with food or whatever it may be from some of the local restaurants, they would just say, whatever you need. Jared was a friend of ours, and just whatever you need. And so he had a huge, huge impact on our community, and he was well loved by a lot of people. And he'll always be remembered by that.
Now, when you were in here Wednesday for our coffee with the mayor, you told us about the great cooperation all the agencies had, and you particularly mentioned the sheriff's department. And Friday on Ask the Cops with the Sheriff Blair, we told him about that, and he really appreciated what your comments were. As a matter of fact, he's stepping up again because Chief Graham, not that this is nearly as important as what you're doing there, is scheduled to be on the program on this Friday, and Sheriff Blair says, I'll come in and do the show while he's up there. So I think those are the kind of things that, unfortunately, it's a crisis that brings out the best in everybody, but that's the kind of things you love to hear about.
Sure. One of the things I continue to say this, Sheriff Blair was just, whatever we needed, he was there. When we were at the hospital, their crisis intervention unit was over there taking care of us, because we obviously couldn't take care of ourselves at that point in time. They did our patrol that night, and it was just, I can't say enough good things about Sheriff Blair and the job that he did helping us out.
Very good. Now, we're not going to keep you too long here, but anything else in terms of the city's business? I know it's been a difficult week or so for everybody there, but anything about what you got going on in the office there that we should know about?
Not really. We've just been really focused on this. So I know when I get back on Monday, or I'll be back on Saturday, but when I get back, we'll get focused on a lot of other things.
Well, have a safe trip, and thanks for taking the time to call us in. And you and Chief Graham, have a safe trip, and all the best to the family. And it's a sad occasion, but this is a time to also celebrate Officer Forsyth's work and his life, his family.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Mayor Kent Gwynn, not able today, of course, to be in the studio, but certainly
it's a sad situation.
It is sad. It's very sad. And without getting into all particulars, of all ways to lose your life in law enforcement, when you're in harm's way so many times, it's almost like the story of the sniper,
right?
Who comes home from doing all
helping a friend with PTSD and he gets shot.
Yeah, it's just, and this was even more unfortunate because it was an accident. We don't know the name yet of the person who had the gun went off. I'm sure we will. I know that you'd like to not ever reveal it, but FDLE is going to reveal it here one of these days. And there's a lot of talk about what will be. Some people will say, "Well, he should be charged and this, that, and the other, whatever." But bottom line is that obviously he's gotten his punishment about as bad as it could get.
He's going to have to live with that accident for the rest of his life.
Yeah, awful. And so, like you say, first time in 60 years they've lost an officer.
Right.
I think the last time was a shooting over there back in the day of a guy that went wacko. I know Bernard Watts, the late Bernard Watts, the paper talked about how he covered that night, and there was a former professor went mad and shot cops, and one of them was that's when it was. I think that was what happened. The last Ocala police officer was killed in the line of duty. So anyway, sad occasion. Tom, real quick, we'll just touch on this, and then we got Jeff Holcomb. Halcomb. I say Holcomb because I'm thinking about Holbrook. Jeff Halcomb, who's on his way in, one of our favorite guests, probably been on the show as much as anybody. And we'll chat with him, but have you seen the 60 Minutes story about California and the drought?
Of course.
That's what I think about when I think about the world coming to an end. It looks like one of those sci-fi movies that they used to have, back in the day when you look like this is what's going to look like later on. And we said it could never happen to us here. We're going to talk to a guy who handles the water supply in Ocala and see what he says about that.
Yeah. I watched actually this week on Nova on PBS. They had a discussion about I watched the DVR, but they had a discussion about the California drought, and everybody's to blame. The farmers are to blame for overuse and everything. But there's some legislation in California that might shoulder some of the blame too, according to Nova, because do you know that they haven't been able to build river reservoirs or dams to catch rainwater in California in over 50 years because of conservationist laws that were passed 40, 50 years ago. So they can't build things like dams to dam up water and congregate it in an area. And the scientist on Nova said that 65 to 70% of all rainwater that falls doesn't soak into the aquifer. It runs off into rivers, and if you don't have any way to store it, those rivers run to the oceans, and that water's lost to the ocean instead of back into the aquifer. So it's kind of like a lot of people share the blame in California, and there's things that could have been done maybe to stem the water problem, but overusage is still the main reason that they're going dry in California.
I think we heard from Jeff before. We'll hear again that there are really the worst of all the things. There are many things worse that you could do, and that's runoff, and that's caused by so much pavement. Right. And water can't release into the ground. And then, of course, droughts themselves. And there are other things, agriculture being one of them.
And they're in a 4-year drought in California, a 4-year terrible drought. So.
And he will tell us again, like he always does, here's what goes into all that. And water usage is about as big. Every time I go to the sink now and I get ready to put my dishes in the dishwasher, I hear Jeff's voice saying, put them in there like they are. Don't wash those dishes off, rinse those dishes off. Because you're wasting water, And when you go to tinkle, don't flush the toilet the first time. Wait the next time, And there's little things like that.
You actually listen to that?
Of course I listen to it. I've heard it said now by Jeff for the last 8 or 9 years.
Well, I mean, I hear Jeff when I'm rinsing my dishes off before I put them in the dishwasher. Mm-hmm. Hey, this is what Jeff says not to do, but I need to get my dishes clean. So
well, see, out in the country you don't care, but in the city we do.
Well, so my wallet, and that's the thing. Somebody said this the other day. If your wallet got hit, my wallet doesn't get hit by water consumption. So sometimes you don't think about your water consumption because you don't get that bill every month.
Well, it's called doing your part as a citizen, Tom.
I do my part. I wash my dishes. I wash my car. Make sure my dogs are clean. The grass is watered.
And what do you care about it, right? So
I got water coming out of the pipe.
Yeah, as a reformed water criminal, I once got a $100 ticket in Punta Gorda for having the sprinkler on the wrong day. I didn't even know how to operate the sprinkler. I bought the house. I tried to I couldn't figure it out.
You couldn't have put it on the day you were supposed to water?
I didn't know how. I tried a bunch of times, and I came back and I got a $100 ticket as a water criminal. So Anyway, it's a serious matter, and of course, Jeff's also got some good insights about leadership and things to be. So we look forward to having him. And Mr. College Football joins us to talk about spring football, fall football. Tony Barnhart will be in the sports hour, and if we have it pulled up in time, Tom is going to effort to do that. We're going to try to pull up this piece of this interview I did with Aaron Hernandez in 2007, which he talks about his relationship with Urban Meyer and some other things will be interesting. We'll see if we can get that work for you in the sports hour, too. So they threw the book at him today. I think it was a great day for justice in New England, and there's still more to come. So,
people said, well, I actually heard somebody say today, well, with the evidence they presented, I'm not sure how they could convict him. What?
Yeah, well, see, circumstantial evidence cases are difficult. They said two things. Number one, he's got a great lawyer, a lot of money, he's a celebrity.
Right.
Number two, it's all circumstantial. And they had no weapon. Guess what? They still convicted him.
Yeah, because what other I think in situations like that, the jury has to ask, okay, given this evidence, is there anybody but him that could have committed this crime?
Well, that's still not enough to convict somebody. You can't. That's the basis for conviction. You have to know he did it without a reasonable doubt. I heard the jury interview, by the way, and it was pretty powerful stuff. While they couldn't really talk about individual situations, they were a committed bunch of people. And one of the women who was an alternate, she said, I sat through I was at every meeting except I couldn't go in the room. I sat in the room next door as an alternate, and I never got to hear anything. I voiced my opinion on anything and whatever, and couldn't read anything. And so I feel like I was a part of it, although I didn't get a chance to really interact in it. So I think Jeff Halcom's on his way, so we'll take a break, come back, and he'll join us on the other side right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Whenever you're searching for an attorney, you want somebody with knowledge who has a commitment to our community and our state. Such is the case with Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer. In everything from car and other motor vehicle accidents, work accidents, personal injury, and wrongful death cases. Daniel L. Hightower also handles Social Security disability and bankruptcy. Call him today at 352-629-7777 or check out danhightower.com. Daniel L. Hightower, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. They say diamonds are always a girl's best friend. April is Diamond Month at Goss & Son Jewelers. Check out their Tacori engagement and bridal sets and beautiful diamond anniversary band. Hand-selected by the Goss family, Teddy and Jerry Goss and Cammie McLeod. You can choose these beautiful diamonds just for you or your loved one. Visit Goss & Son Jewelers downtown on the square and let the diamond consultants help you select a one-of-a-kind piece. Goss & Son, downtown for 65 years. Does osteoarthritis bring frustration with every step? Do pain and stiffness affect your everyday activities? If so, you may be interested in a research study for the treatment of pain associated with osteoarthritis. Rentstar Medical Research is conducting a research study of an investigational medication for individuals between the ages of 40 and 75 and who have been treated for the pain associated with osteoarthritis for at least 3 months. Qualified participants will receive study-related medical care and investigational medication. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. To learn more about this osteoarthritis study, please call Rentstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Again, that's 352-629-5800. Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige, it's all there in our name.
The weather is brought to you by MyFWC.com. Safe boating is no accident. For the rest of your Wednesday, a shower or thunderstorm, otherwise cloudy and warm, low 69 to 71. For Thursday, clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm, high 85 to 87. Thursday night, low 67 to 71. Friday, a shower or thunderstorm, high 86 to 89. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Edie Robb.
This weather forecast brought to you by Tri-County Generators 1-800-622-1957. Don't get caught with your power down. Call Tri-County Generators now, 1-800-622-1957.
You're listening to The Source, your home for Fox News and Fox Sports Weekends.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance, someone you can call when bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Visit George Mangan Insurance in Ocala today at www.manganinsurance.com.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Enjoy a round of golf on one of Central Florida's finest courses and help a great cause Monday, May 11th, when Life South Community Blood Centers hosts a golf tournament to benefit the 5 Points of Life Foundation. The scramble will be held at Golden Ocala with registration and lunch at 11 and a shotgun start at 12:30. The cost is $200 per person, which includes a player gift package. To register, call Life South at 352-224-1728 or visit 5pointsoflife.org.
Looking at my computer, the piece of CBS 60 Minutes of depleted water, and Leslie Stahl talking about it. And when I saw this piece originally, I thought, man, could this be like Florida 50 years from now? Because it's cracked earth and all kind of issues. It's the worst drought in the history of California, which already has problems. Now, we've been educated on this show over the years. I've been educated by a man who knows as much about water as anybody. And he warned us about things like this happening. And there's a lot of things you can do about it, but you can't wait to the last second. Obviously, and California seems to be in dire straits. Welcome back to the program. We just call him the Water Czar anymore because he's like director of water, sewer, or whatever. and one of the most knowledgeable guys, I think, anywhere that I just hear about water, the stuff that comes out of the earth that's usually free, except when they bottle it. Jeff Halcomb joins us. Hey, welcome back, Jeff.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's always good to have you because it's
good
fun, educational, and time goes fast. First of all, I asked you a question several months ago, and I'm coming back to it again because of all the issues of terrorism that are more present now than ever before. You know, with ISIS being what it is, people talk about these disasters. And I asked you a question, and I didn't expect a response. I said, are you ever concerned about something, people put stuff in their water? You said, yeah, naturally, because it's obviously one of the places you can do a lot of damage in a hurry. Given what ISIS is doing now, or they're just having this lone wolf acts and this craziness going on around our continent, without giving away any of your secrets, are you more heightened than usual at the water plant?
Yes, of course we are. It's a shame that we have to worry about that type of threat when there's so many other threats that, you really don't even think about as far as water, and hopefully we'll get into a little bit of them today. But, we're doing some things that I never thought we'd ever have to do, but, given what it is, we're going to do those steps and quite a few others before we get done.
Giving folks just a little update on how things work. How often do you test the water over there? Every day or every week, every month, or just for?
No, the water's tested every hour of every day.
Every hour.
Every hour.
I mean, not just for terrorism. I mean, for just nutrients and different things.
Yeah, we're doing quality checks. We're making sure that the pH is right. And there's a lot of things that we do to the water. We have to make sure it's okay. And there's a lot of press you hear about fluoride and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
where do you stand on that?
Truthfully, the internet is a great thing, but the internet is also a bad tool. Because if you don't do your research, and this is to all the teachers out there, make sure all your kids do your research and you get proof that they do the research, because a lot of times you'll read stuff on the internet and it's somebody's perspective or it's somebody's thoughts on something and it's not really factual evidence. And then even at the evidence, you have to really look at the evidence and weigh whether or not that you believe it's true. How I feel about fluoride, I think fluoride, as in chlorine, I think it's one of the two greatest things that we have in our arsenal to protect our lives and our kids' teeth. Now, having said that, a lot of the press you'll read, it talks about high fluoride levels. And then you'll also hear about, and I've read several stories as well, these certain areas of the country, they do not fluorinate. That's true. Some places don't, and they choose not to for certain reasons, and that's okay. But in China, for instance, somebody says, well, they don't fluoridate there. No, they don't. You're right. They used to. They don't. What they do now with the fluoride is they put it in their salt. So there's a lot of just things that kind of need to be, talked about and straightened up that are wrong, I think, and it teaches a bad message. I think that's why that country's so polarized. You hear one thing, and it's like I look at Verizon and Sprint commercials, and they all say that we're the best and fastest. Well, one of them really is, So which one is it? So it leads to a lot of confusion.
I agree with you, and as a person who tried to be a pretty serious journalist most of my life, until I got into the internet and talk radio. But you get what I'm talking about, is that you really do kind of protect that as best you can, the integrity of your work. You try to. You're going to make mistakes because people lie to you. And you make human mistakes too. But in terms of if you just stay true to doing what you believe to be right, as close to the honesty without favor, the old book, Without Fear of Favor, as a journalist. And unfortunately, that's one of the things that's dying out today, is that we have some fine websites and some fine magazines and what have you, but the good old hard journalism, she loved the journalism where people really played it down the middle. It's getting harder and harder to find, and everything on the internet is polarized. You're exactly right. And the Sprint commercials and the AT&T commercials, whatever they are, you're right. It's so confusing. And it's the same thing in political parties.
Yeah.
I mean, which is the party of the people? I'm hearing the new candidates now for president saying the Republicans say they're the ones who care about the working class.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. So it's rhetoric. Getting through all the rhetoric and getting down to what's real, that's the thing. The water is real.
Right.
We can't live without it. And just a final thought about the purification process. If I said to you, and I know you give me an honest answer, what's the absolute best way to get the best water I can get in where I'm living in Marion County? Now, you could put your plug in for city water, which is good, but is there a purification system on top of that? What's wrong with well water? Some places is not good. Tell me, as far as you're concerned, I want the perfect glass of water. How do I get it?
Okay, well, not being political, the county has great water too. So I can't say the city or the county has the best water. I mean, we both have really good water. I wish I could tell everybody in this community how precious it is that we have such a good drinking water source. And so, having said that, is that there's good drinking water to be had all over the county. The issue really is where your water is that you're pulling it off, okay? So if it's a surface water like the Ocala River, obviously there's certain treatment standards that you have to do. If you have iron in your water, you might have, depending on when the drought was pretty big a couple years ago, there might have been hydrogen sulfide in the water. You got to go. We got a commercial or something?
We do, in about 10 seconds.
Okay. So anyway, so there's things that you can do though to take care of that water source. We still have a really good water source, and it needs to be protected.
I'm going to ask you a question about a filter system when I get back. No commercial, and also we'll talk about that subject you wanted to discuss, preservation of water. But you ought to do something about it. Jeff will tell you next, right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Guilty of murder and sentenced to life without parole. The Aaron Hernandez murder trial is over.
Jury members saying after sentencing there were many tears during their discussions. Odin Lloyd's sister, Olivia Taboo, spoke emotionally after the decision was handed down.
It kind of doesn't feel like we're here, we're living in a dream world and then still have to face reality.
The family also saying it forgives those responsible for Lloyd's murder.
Fox News Radio's Gernal Scott. The pilot of a one-man helicopter is under arrest after landing it on the lawn outside the U.S. Capitol.
Police rolled in a robot to check out the makeshift one-propeller gyrocopter. The contraption has a United States Postal Service logo on the back of it. The president has been briefed on the landing, but inside, lawmakers are going about their business as usual.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. The Fed says the economy grew moderately from mid-February through March. Fox News, we report, you decide.
And now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. A man said he recently informed his wife he's going to start waxing his chest. Only because the waxing place is right near Golfsmith, and trade-in days are almost over. When you trade in your old clubs, you get a 50% bonus towards new ones. He's got a lot of clubs to trade in, so he's going to wax his chest, eyebrows, back, and, well, trade-in days at Golfsmith is in its final days, so hurry in. Golfsmith, anything for golf.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 4433 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 4433.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our new boutique area and meet our staff of professional stylists. Here at Hello Gorgeous, we are ready to update your look with the latest trends. It's the perfect time to brighten up your look. So make your appointment now for those highlights and Brazilian blowout. But don't stop there. We are a full-service salon offering manicures, pedicures, and facials also. So if you've been searching for a salon to call your own, come and see us at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located at 48 South Magnolia Avenue in downtown Ocala, right next to the Marion Theater. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Skip ice cream and have gelato. Yeah, it tastes rich because it's denser than ice cream. Gelato, you should know, has half the fat of most ice creams because it's made with milk, not cream. Go ahead and order the pad thai. Just stick it in the fridge. Eat the cold leftovers the next day. You want the resistant starch. Punctuality is one of the most difficult behaviors to change since it's deeply rooted in a person's personality.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
All these conversations in break, like we always say, the best stuff takes place during the commercials.
Yeah, I went and watered my grass twice and ran my dishwasher 3 times.
Just sit over there and be quiet, will you, please? You know what? He likes to torpedo interviews. That's what he does. Sits back and tries to torpedo things.
Speaking of that, I need to clear up something.
Yeah.
I don't think you heard everything I said about dishwasher. If you have a dishwasher that can accept crud in it, then you can do it. Not every dishwasher can do that.
Yeah.
So I heard you earlier. Tom's right, but he shouldn't rinse it. But you could scrape off all the crap.
No, I know.
That's on there before.
I do scrape it.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
But then I still wash it.
Yeah, that's good.
And I hear your
you
voice.
You don't need to do that.
I know. See, that's what drives you crazy. Tom's washes his car 4 times a day. I'm worried about a plate.
Let me tell you.
That's the difference in a social conscience and not having one.
If you
by the
see
way.
my car,
Just
you
so
know I don't wash my car 4 times. My car would fall apart if I washed the dirt off of it.
All right, so before we get too far down the road and off track,
track.
Let's get back to what we're talking about regarding the California story and the tremendous drought and what's happened. And, we talk about the water a lot, not as much as we did 2 years ago, but where do we stand now in terms of the water supply, in terms of the county? I know you're specifically concerned about the city, but you draw from the same aquifer?
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's a lot of us that draw from the same aquifer. You asked what the supply is. Well, I don't know, and there's an editor article in the paper talking about, hey, there was a Springs meeting, and it says, hey, flows are back and all this other kind of stuff. Well, I mean, that's nice to say that, but it's been raining, right? It's raining. But really, what we got to be concerned about is not what it's doing when it's raining. What it's going to do. We know that there's been droughts in history for thousands of years. We know we're going to have another drought again. We know the population is starting to increase in Florida. So we have to take steps to preserve that water, because it doesn't matter. I know there was criticism. I saw it in the newspaper. Somebody criticized. They said, hey, I'm going to go back to water my grass whenever I want to because of some development that came into the city or whatever. That's really one side. You can look at it that way, I guess. But the way to look at it is it makes no difference. The fact of the matter is that we're not going to stop. We can't stop people from coming to this state because they like it here. So we're going to have to take care of our water. So our water situation right now today is good. Our flows are up. I think there's a renewed interest in working on some issues with a lot of other folks that probably wouldn't come to the table before, but our water is okay now as far as the quantities, I think. But somebody's never going to be happy with me saying that, because they're always going to say the other end, and I hope they listened to me at the beginning. What I said is that we have to still try to conserve our water.
So if you had a gauge outside and you were just roughly using figures from 2 years ago, would it be up like 1.5 feet? I mean, this is just round numbers. I mean, how much up are we over what we were a couple of years ago?
When you say up, the flow is up considerably.
Well, but that means people who measure water, they may measure it in lakes and rivers and what have you. When you say flow, that's mostly the underground, right?
Yeah. Depending on where you're at, the water level in a lot of lakes and streams is back to where it was, before the drought. Now, if you go to Lake Weir, the water's up, but it's not where it should be.
Because they're drawing a lot of water out of the ground in villages.
I think probably some of that's it. I also think that, one of the things that we don't talk about much is what the Army Corps of Engineers. I know you talked about what California's problems are. Well, a lot of California's problems is created by, not planning the right way and thinking about water and have that part of the planning process.
Like what? Not allowing people to dam up things and what have you? Tom
Yeah,
was talking about earlier.
Tom had said it a little bit, and that's part of it is people waving at you. Just get distracted.
Well, you look like Urban Meyer. I think Meyer's in doing the show today. So,
but out in California, one of the things they don't do, which Florida is really good at, is they don't have drainage retention areas in a scale that Florida has, where a lot of water does get a chance to go back to the aquifer. So there is a lot of impervious surfaces. You talked about that a little bit earlier, and so there's a lot of things that we do. we're having to fix, like the Everglades. In 1962, they thought it was going to be really great to go in and start, taking care of all the problems there. And no, it's going to take years and years to get those problems out, because 100 years before that, we thought we wanted to drain Everglades. So there's a lot of stuff to work on there. And then, obviously, the Cross Florida Canal, Barge Canal, was another issue.
What a disaster
issue.
that would have been.
Absolutely.
Little did we know. Poor Bert Dyche, who was a campaign for that as the editor of the Star Banner, and we thought it was wonderful and brought work here during the WPA days, all that sort of stuff. And just imagine if we had that water, that brine coming through the city, coming through the county, and all you'd have a nightmare running the water department.
Yeah, it would have been, and what's funny is it was a political reason only that it stopped.
Right.
Okay, so
politics got it right. That's really strange.
I don't know if they got it right. I think they just wanted some votes, to have something look good. I think it was during Nixon when he closed it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So right now, like I say, our water's good, but it's worth protecting. And there's a lot of things that we're learning from California on how to do what we need to do.
Okay. So just once again, to re-educate us, just give us a 1, 2, 3 of water shortages and conservation. It's obviously usage, but it's also runoff with fertilizer in it, particularly. It's development, right?
Right.
And it's usage, correct?
Correct.
Have I forgotten something? Rainfall, of course.
Rainfall, rainfall.
So in that order, that's not necessary. But and you like to put it back on the user, saying, this is what you can do. And we have this discussion all the time. Yes, you don't have to flush in a 5-gallon tank. By the way, I told you I got one of my 2 toilets converted. I'm working on the second one.
Right.
I'm doing my best I can to follow your game plan, okay?
I appreciate it.
And unlike others on this program, I have a little bit of a social conscience, but let it go at that. So anything that else you want to tell people? And the second thing is, I want you to tell me how good is our water after that. First of all, what else can people do listening to help the water issue? I know people are not really concerned about it. They can turn on their faucet, they get their water, or do they care? But you got to be reminded once in a while, right?
Yeah, sure. So this month is a water conservation month.
Oh, good. Good time.
And also, if you would have had the mayor on today a little bit more, he probably would have talked about the Waylands Foundation program that he has kicked off. Me and him, he calls it, is that, if you go onto the Wayland Foundation, there's says, Pledge My City, I believe it says on there, where you can pledge to conserve water. And it's really an educational move, okay? So to look at what you can do, am I going to use less water? Am I going to use less resources? Am I going to recycle more? And so on the Wayland Foundation, if folks could go on there, there's some good tips that they got on there. And also the cities can win some prizes if they, going to conserve water and pledge to do some things.
How are you spelling that?
Wayland, W-Y-L-A-N-D Foundation.
W-Y-A-Y, so it's Wyland.
Y, yeah.
W-Y-L-A-N. Tom looked that up. Okay, so that's right. All right, now, convince me in 60 seconds about why your water is so good.
In 60 seconds, why our water is so good?
Yeah.
Our water is so good because, unlike a lot of sources, our water comes from an aquifer that is still pretty pristine. Yes, we have nitrates in our water, but the nitrates are low. Now, that's not going to fly with somebody, but the nitrates are low.
Low compared to what?
They're low compared to the drinking water standard. The drinking water standard is that you don't want to have over 10 milligrams per liter because studies have shown it causes problems.
How many do we have?
And we're under 1.5.
1.5?
Mm-hmm. We're under 1.5, yes. And so the water is good to drink because it doesn't have a whole lot of pharmaceuticals in it. Water is good to drink because we sample it a whole lot to check for other things too, because there's other influences that we have to be conscious of, and that's pollution other than nitrogen. I think I've gone on here and talked about that before, is that you pour your oil out and you do things like that, and those can find their way into aquifer. Well, we're lucky enough that we don't have those things. There's a lot of cities that can't say that. So our water on its general terms is awesome to drink. And I don't know where else you could get a whole lot better water than what you drink here. So I'm a fan of our water. We also, we test our water out in a distribution system. We chlorinate our water. We test it out in a distribution system. We fluoridate the water, which I think is good. A lot of people don't like that, but I think we fluoridate. Actually, we're fluoridating at the levels that they're going to make it. If you looked at the CDC and the University of Sciences, they're all looking at what we feed on our fluoride, and they're all going to go and recommend the levels that we do, and we're actually even below those now. So I think that we do a good public service for not a whole lot of money. Just remember, in the city right now, it costs 96 cents for 1,000 gallons of water.
Wow. A little better than gas. So 2 things real quick. wives' tales. The story about lithium. Is that what it is? Is it lithium that's been put in water? What is the? You said pharmaceuticals. There's some communities who have a high level of something.
There's all kinds.
It's a calming influence. It's a drug that calms people down. Definitely it's a battery. That's not correct. But there's something. I know I've read stories and edited stories about that. Some communities put this in there that sedates people just slightly.
That's what they say.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Then there's that old wives' tale. We used to go to some of the schools in here, like St. Leo's. They'd say, "Don't drink the water because there's saltpeter in it."
Yeah.
That, of course, is supposed to work on your hormones if you're a young boy. And obviously, I don't even know what that is, but have you ever heard that?
I've heard all kinds of things. And, actually, that's that mineral, that saltpeter, it's just a mineral from, a calcium deposit. So in some places, there probably are high levels of that. Just like fluoride, there's high levels up in the panhandle in some areas where natural occurring fluoride is. So, there's probably all kinds of things you probably hear about.
What's the craziest thing you ever heard that wasn't true?
Really, seriously, that the fluoride is some government scheme to dummy down everybody.
Those are the guys who wear the hats made out of tinfoil. Right? We know about those guys.
I kid and everything, and I know, but is it a good practice? And I know your answer to this, but I'm going to ask it for the general public. Is it a good practice during the rainy season? We know when the rainy season ends, to not even worry about watering your grass. Just turn the sprinklers off. Let Mother Nature do it during the rainy season. Don't even have your sprinklers set to come on.
Absolutely. And let me answer that question by saying this, is if you've never had your sprinkler system checked by a professional, do so. Because that little bit of money that you spend to have them do that is going to pay dividends if you're really cognizant and you're thinking about conservation. So, yes, you don't. With the weather we've been having, you don't even need to irrigate one single drop. And I don't care what kind of grass you're talking about. If you're talking about St. Augustine grass, centipede, and all the rest of them, especially Bahia, but you don't need to water your grass.
There you go. Jeff Halcomb, you going to stay around and play a little game of Fake or Factoid to beat Tom again?
I'm going to, just because I'd like to see if he can get me back.
All right, we'll see. We'll give it a shot. It's the grudge match coming up next week. Jeff and Tom right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Here in Florida, when you're looking to go to the beach, you've got hundreds of options. Theme parks, no shortage of options there either. But when it comes to home insurance, most companies have only one option. Allstate is different. Here in Florida, Allstate agents offer home insurance options from several companies, so they can help you get the coverage that's right for you. And they'll help you save on quality car insurance, too. For starters, safe drivers save 45% with Allstate. So before you settle for just one option, talk to someone with many home and car insurance options. Your local Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
Hi, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. To get your quote, please call us at 622-2333 or stop by one of our 2 Ocala locations.
Allstate has no financial responsibility to you for any home insurance policy you purchase and would not be responsible for any claims. Allstate does not make any representations or accept liability related to operations of home insurance companies, including but not limited to their financial conditions. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
The next drink is on Dave Del Rio at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill. Just ask him for it. But don't wait. Show up soon because this offer isn't going to last very long. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill will be filling up fast because their friends from the north are headed back that way soon. The good news is that seating is now available and Dave's buying the first drink. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill and couldn't get in, now you can see firsthand what your friends have been talking about. Great food. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Floresiana menu. Great location. Check out those gorgeous sunsets over Lake Weir. Great people. Starting with Chef Dave Del Rio, who began his career in 1978. This spicy guy has been instrumental in opening over 100 restaurants. And he's buying you a drink. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill, where there's little or no waiting these days. Come see what started out as Jay Eaton's dream almost 90 years ago. It's more awesome than ever.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For the rest of your Wednesday, a shower, a thunderstorm, otherwise cloudy and warm, low 69 to 71. For Thursday, clouds and sun with a shower, a thunderstorm, high 85 to 87. Thursday night, low 67 to 71. Friday, a shower, a thunderstorm, high 86 to 89. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Andy Robb.
This weather brought to you by A&A Lockdock. Did you know that most break-ins happen during bad weather because it masks the sound? Don't be another victim. Protect your home and business today. Call A&A Lockdock, 352-867-1965. That's 352-867-1965.
Buried under receipts and confusing tax code? Let Crippen & Company help. They work hard to make the tax preparation process as painless as possible. With offices in Ocala and the Villages, their team is dedicated to helping clients with corporate and personal tax returns, bookkeeping for businesses, and estate planning for the future. Crippen & Company crafts a truly customized experience for each client's needs while alleviating stress and creating a big picture of your overall financial health. Call 352-732-4260 or visit crippencpa.com to get started.
WOCA AM 1370 96.3
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
We are The Source, WOCA, news, talk, sports, and more.
Back at Voiceville Ocala with Jeff Halcomb, and he's agreed to take on the Tribulator once again and probably take him down. So if we can get some music for this.
I'm going to take a shower.
That uses a lot of water, by the way.
It does.
Hey, 5 minutes. We'll give you a 5-minute shower.
5-minute shower.
5?
Yep.
I'd say 2. But anyway.
I know. I can't see how anybody stays in the shower longer than about 3-4 minutes and done.
Yeah.
I think in the military there's a 2-minute shower.
I used to, but I always hear Jeff's voice. I have to get out. So, he's just like my conscience all the time. Here we go. Fake or Factoid, the program that's soon to be on television and actually syndicated, right along with Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. And we'll see who's going to be the host. Maybe Jeff. All right, here we go. Ready? Fake or Factoid, the oldest known breed of domesticated dog is the Saluki.
Fact. I don't know.
Fake.
Tom says fact. Jeff says fake. Carvings of animals resembling the Saluki have been found in excavations in the Sumerian Empire, believed to date back between 6,000 and 7,000 BC. So it's fact.
He's a dog lover, isn't he?
I also have a master's degree in history.
And by the way, he didn't know any of that, just so you know. All right, number 2. The water faucet. How convenient.
Oh, my gosh.
The water faucet was invented in Watertown, Massachusetts on April 15th, 1893 by a blacksmith named Abraham Spigot. Tom?
Fake.
Fake.
Both say fake?
Yeah.
Want to change your answer?
Nope.
Okay. You're both correct. It's fake. Wasn't it good enough?
Boy, I'm glad I got that one on Tom.
That would have been embarrassing, right? Number 3.
He sold that one too hard. There was just too much information that sounded good.
Okay. You never know what you might get. The revolving door was invented August 7th, 1888 by Theophilus Van Cannell of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Tom?
Fact.
Fact.
Both say fact.
Yeah.
Anybody want to change their answer? It's fact.
Yeah, see, his name wasn't Revolver or something.
Number 4, the Rams football helmet the logo was created by L.A. Rams halfback and former Colorado State coach, Colorado coach Fred Gerke in 1946, who was trained in the art. It's a beautiful helmet, one of the most. Fake or fact, though?
Fact.
Fact.
Both say fact. Anybody want to change?
Nope.
You're both correct. It's fact. Now, Whatever
I missed one. Jeff's missed one. I've missed none.
So that means Tom has to go first, and you got to go opposite to have any chance,
I
right?
got to tell you, I actually knew that one.
It's the water questions that throw you though. Number 5, the chocolate chip cookie was invented in 1933.
Fake.
Fact.
Ding, 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 ding. Tie ball game. It's all right. Here we go. It's just, there we go.
Somebody wasn't smart enough earlier, because that should have been a long time ago.
Okay, finally, the number will break the tie. Come on, Jeff. How many watts does it take to power a toaster? How many watts does it take? Write your number down. How many watts does it take to power a toaster? You got your number, Jeff? Just keep it in your mind, and you'll go. Gotta go fast, quick. How many?
10,000.
10,000. Tom, 80 watts. It's 1,000. 1,100. So Tom wins. Jeff Halcomb, appreciate it. Stay tuned. Coming up next, Tony Barnhart live on Southern. On I almost said Southern Things Tonight. Buddy Sports Page next, right here.
WOCA, The Source.
Guy Harvey Checking is now exclusively available at Gateway Bank. With Guy Harvey Checking, you will receive Gateway's premium checking account plus several other Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation features, including membership to the Guy Harvey Hammerhead Nation, free Guy Harvey t-shirt, and an exclusive Guy Harvey debit card. At Gateway Bank, we will make a $50 donation to the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation for every new account opened. This is just one more reason why people choose Gateway Bank. Sign up today for your exclusive Guy Harvey checking account with Gateway. Details available at gatewaybankcfl.com, member FDIC.
If you missed Southern Pigskin Tonight recently, you missed Urban Meyer talking about what it takes to man up.
You hear the term man up or next man ready, and everyone says that. We've certainly been a part of situations where that hasn't happened, where the next man wasn't ready. Obviously, the credit goes to the player first.
So join us every Thursday at 5 p.m. for Southern Pigskin Tonight, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
They say diamonds are always a girl's best friend. April's Diamond Month at Goss & Son Jewelers. Check out their Tacori engagement and bridal sets and beautiful diamond anniversary band. Hand-selected by the Goss family, Teddy and Jerry Goss and Cammie McLeod. You can choose these beautiful diamonds just for you or your loved one. Visit Goss & Son Jewelers downtown on the square and let the diamond consultants help you select a one-of-a-kind piece. Goss & Son, downtown for 65 years. Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige, it's all there in our name.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Skip ice cream and have gelato. Yeah, it tastes rich because it's denser than ice cream. Gelato, you should know, has half the fat of most ice creams because it's made with milk, not cream. Go ahead and order the pad thai. Just stick it in the fridge. Eat the cold leftovers the next day. You want the resistant starch. Punctuality is one of the most difficult behaviors to change since it's deeply rooted in a person's personality.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For the rest of your Wednesday, a shower or thunderstorm, otherwise cloudy and warm, low 69 to 71. For Thursday, clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm, high 85 to 87. Thursday night, low 67 to 71. Friday, a shower or thunderstorm, high 86 to 89. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Andy Robb.
This weather forecast brought to you by Tri-County Generators 1-800-622-1957. Don't get caught with your power down. Call Tri-County Generators now, 1-800-622-1957.
You're listening to The Source, your home for Fox News and Fox Sports Weekends.
The biggest air show in the South is back in Lakeland. Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo celebrates its 41st year all week long, April 21st through April 26th. This year promises to be bigger, faster, and louder than ever before. Experience the heart-thumping, awe-inspiring performance of the Breitling Jet Team's U.S. debut and the Air Force Thunderbirds. See thousands of aircraft both in the air and on display, and an open flight line of historic warbirds. Sun and Fun offers fun for the whole family with daily air shows, a kids zone, a classic car show, and lots of great food. Florida residents can make it a weekend the family will remember by coming Saturday, April 25th and Sunday, April 26th to experience 3 shows for the price of one. See the Breitling team perform at 3 p.m. Stay for the night air show, which includes aerobatic flyers, pyrotechnics, and a dazzling fireworks display. And come back Sunday for an additional show. Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo, celebrating its 41st year all week long, April 21st through April 26th in Lakeland. It's bigger, it's faster, it's louder, it's Sun and Fun.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Eyewitnesses couldn't believe what they were seeing, a one-man gyrocopter landing on the lawn outside the U.S. Capitol.
It just seemed so mellow. It was just kind of drifting down, and it just seemed, and it wasn't landing near a building or anything, so it seemed, and it had a U.S. Post Office sign on it.
I thought that's how they were delivering the mail.
The area was cordoned off as police sent in the bomb squad to check out the mini chopper. The pilot was arrested. Nobody was hurt. Using tax day as a platform, the president contrasted his tax policies with those of the congressional GOP.
Their tax plan would give the average millionaire and billionaire a $50,000 tax cut.
President Obama was taking part in a town hall-style meeting in Charlotte, North Carolina. Rising oil prices and an economy trying to bounce back from a bad winter made for an up day on Wall Street. The Dow rose 76, the Nasdaq climbed 34, while the S&P closed up 11. Fox News. We report, you decide.
And now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. A man said he recently informed his wife he's going to start waxing his chest. Only because the waxing place is right near Golfsmith, and trade-in days are almost over. When you trade in your old clubs, you get a 50% bonus towards new ones. He's got a lot of clubs to trade in, so he's going to wax his chest, eyebrows, back, and, well, trade-in days at Golfsmith is in its final days, so hurry in. Golfsmith, anything for golf.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 4433 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 4433.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slice.
And now, here's Buddy.
Welcome, Buddy Sports Page. This is the time of year when we get a projection for the fall based on what we see in the spring. Spring football games aren't much these days, but they give us some kind of inclination about how a team looks on the hoof and maybe the idea of how the offense is going to work, but you just can't tell a whole bunch about that. There were several played last week and more played this week, and a keen observer on the scene in the SEC is Mr. College Football himself. Tony Barnhart of the SEC Network and AJC joins us on the program. Tony, nice to talk to you again.
Well, good to talk to you, buddy. I can't believe we're in the process of wrapping up spring ball. I just got back from Tennessee yesterday where we spent a couple of days, and so it's been an interesting spring.
Looks like they're happy up there on the staff. They all got raises apparently, and so that's a good thing for Butch Jones trying to build that program. And I'm as long as we're on the subject of Tennessee, I'm wondering if this is the pretender or a contender. They're kind of the popular choice by a lot of people, and they do have a little bit of a momentum going after last year, but they didn't have a great record. But you saw progress, and people seem to be enthused. They're enthusiastic, but let's not accuse that with achievement at this point in time. What's your take on Tennessee today if they were starting the season tomorrow?
Well, buddy, I still think that, as I told somebody yesterday, I mean, all the to put it in economic terms, all the leading economic indicators are pointing in the right direction for Tennessee. They've recruited well the last couple of years, on paper at least. And but my belief is that in terms of if the definition of being there is having a chance to win the division, I still think they're a year away. But they have a veteran quarterback, or a quarterback who has played significant games in the SEC, which is something a lot of teams can't say in this league. And they are very good at the skill position, and they're bringing in reinforcement to finally give them some depth. So, we'll see. I think Tennessee is definitely a bowl team, and it all comes down to how you play in the handful of games that are decided by just a few points. I mean, they lost to the Gators by 1, lost to Georgia by 3, lost to Missouri, had a chance to beat Missouri, lost to Missouri, it ended up being 8, I think. So we'll see. I'm not going to pick them to win the division. They'll be a popular choice because of the talent they've got coming in.
Yeah, they have a quarterback people are talking about for sure, and of course there are not too many really outstanding quarterbacks. It seems like this year. If you look at the spring games, everybody's looking for a quarterback. I mean, when's the last time that Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, Alabama, and Florida State over the ACC were all looking for a quarterback in the spring game?
That's right, and to me that was the theme of the spring, and nobody's coming out of spring with any real answers. And I think a lot of that is by design now. I think coaches have learned not to make that decision in the spring because they want everybody to remain engaged, and most of all, they want them not to transfer. So it'll be, you guys down there in Florida. I mean, I think you've definitely got a quarterback race. Georgia, I think they're headed in the right direction, but we'll see. I went to see Coach Spurrier a couple of weeks ago, and it looks like it's going to be Connor Mitch, the kid from Raleigh, but we'll see. It's going to make for an interesting summer.
Well, you certainly wonder because Lorenzo Nunez is coming in there, and Connor Mitch is the guy right now. But we'll wait and see how that turns out. It looks like Bryce Ramsey up in Athens right now. Will Greer's got the edge, and FSU still, by the way, not the SEC, but they're still looking for a quarterback. They didn't get the kind of game out of Sean McGuire they thought they'd get. And Jacob Coker looks like a shoe-in at Alabama, but, let's see until he gets on the field. So many people looking for quarterbacks. I just don't remember this many people looking, and really good quarterback coaches when you talk about Spurrier and Rick and, and obviously Saban and that bunch and Jimbo Fisher. And I think maybe McElwain. McElwain seems to be a really good receiver, quarterback, pass game coach, in my opinion. And I like what he did at Colorado State. I couldn't tell much from the game. I noticed you had an interview there with Paul Feinbaum. He was talking about the same thing about you couldn't tell much. And I'm doing my best to figure out what's going on there. But when you don't have any offensive linemen, you can't run any plays, you can't see tackle and blocking. Tony, what do you look for in a spring game?
Well, you know what, buddy, I quit going to spring games about 15 years ago because I wasn't learning anything because the coaches – and, Coach Spurrier always did this. He believed it should be for the fans. You should have fun with it. And And if the reporters want to come out, that's fine. But I just quit going to the games because I learn a lot. I learn a lot more by going to practice and sitting down with the coaches than I do anything else. And I got to see Coach McElwain a couple of weeks ago, and it was pretty clear that on the spring game they were going to keep it pretty vanilla. So that's not surprising.
Yeah. So all we know about Will Greer is he apparently looks good in uniform, and he throws an okay ball. We obviously know what Treon Harris looks like because he had some games under his belt last year. But Spurrier's got it right. I mean, how much better can it get that when you drive down the field on your Connor Mitch, the first touchdown pass you throw is to not a wide receiver but Darius Rucker.
That's right. That's right.
Hoodie and the Blowfish. I mean, that to me that's what makes it fun. I don't know what their crowd was in Columbia. What their numbers were, I don't know if you heard it or not, but I see they had 76,000 in Nebraska, by the way. And I'm sure that they didn't have over 12,000 in the swamp. I mean, they may have announced 15, but it didn't have much of anybody there. So what does it say, if anything, about a program?
Well, a lot of it has to do, it depends on the location. I mean, I was part of the 92,000 and change who came out for Nick Saban's first spring game at Alabama. There was the great anticipation. The fact that Mike Riley's at Nebraska now, that's exciting. I think people are excited about Jim McElwain, but as you know, buddy, from having lived down there, it's so long, it's just a different deal at Florida. I've never seen a situation where I thought Florida would have 50,000 for a spring game.
But they did. They did. No,
Yep.
That's the thing. And so they've had situations where they did have that, and with Urban and with Spurrier. Anyway, Steve seems to have more it looks more like a football game. I caught part of his game on it, and it looks like it's more fun. And you say designed for the fans, so we'll see. Spurrier has defended his position. I heard him on an interview the other day chastising people for saying they had a terrible year at Florida, in South Carolina. He says terrible is not 7-6 and beating Miami in the bowl game. Terrible is going 0-11, which they did here years ago. What's your take on that 7-6 and the Shreveport game beating Miami? Is that a good year?
Well, is it a good year? No. I mean, it's an okay year. I mean, particularly when South Carolina was coming off 3 straight years of 11 wins. But Coach Spurrier made the same point to me when I went to go see him, and his point was based on historical data at South Carolina. Going 7-6 people shouldn't be complaining. Now, if you go 7-6 3 or 4 years in a row, then you got an issue. So. Coach, I think it's a big year for Coach Spurrier. I really do. He's told me more than once since he's been at South Carolina that he is not going to be happy being a 7-5, 6-6 coach. That's not the way he's wired. So if they do that again, I'm kind of anxious to see how Coach Spurrier feels about it. But we'll see. They're going to move the ball. I think they're going to be fine moving the ball. They've always moved the ball. With Pharaoh Cooper, I think they've got a dynamic weapon.
And Deebo Samuel, by the way, looks pretty good. He's a guy to keep an eye on.
And they're just horrible. They were horrible on defense.
Awful.
So let's wait and see if John Hoke can come in there and make a difference.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I saw quite a few games there last year, like 3 or 4 in Columbia, and I couldn't believe it. They not only blew 2 touchdown leads, but in one game they blew them the 2 touchdown lead twice and lost the game. And, the defense gave up 30 points a game, and Spurrier averaged 20-something, whatever it was. It was a good year for them. They just couldn't stop it. He couldn't tackle anybody. So we'll see what John Hoke does. Looking around the league, just on the basis of what we know right now, we mentioned Joshua Dobbs. But is there anybody that's more exciting this year and someone who got a chance at, say, a Heisman than Nick Chubb?
Well, Nick Chubb, it's funny, when I went to see Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator at Georgia last spring, I said, what about Nick Chubb and Sony Michel? You going to play both of them? He says, Tony, I got to play both of them because they're so good. And here's a guy who had the best running back in the country, or certainly one of them, in Todd Gurley. And but when Chubb goes on the field, you're going, oh, my goodness. I met with Nick Chubb a couple of weeks ago in Athens, and he was excited with the way his season turned out. He is a phenomenal football player. But they not only does Georgia have Nick Chubb, they have Sony Michel. They have Keith Marshall, who was Todd Gurley's running mate. He's been dinged up, and they got a kid named Brendan Douglas, and so they're very deep at running back. They got 4 out of 5 coming back on the offensive line. They'll find somebody to play quarterback. They got Malcolm Mitchell coming back at wide receiver. So right now I'm picking Georgia to win the East.
I heard you say that you picked Georgia to win the East. And so beyond that, you give Tennessee a look maybe. I don't think Florida's ready to play at that level, not South Carolina. I don't know who else you'd pick right now.
Well, I think you got to go with Georgia. You got to go with Tennessee.
Well, Missouri maybe, but
Missouri, because Missouri's got Matty Mock coming back. They missed a couple of great defensive ends, but they missed a couple of great defensive ends last year, and so I think Gary Pinkel is just a really, really good coach. So right now, just based on experience, I think you got to go with Georgia, Tennessee, Missouri, and then it's some combination of South Carolina and Tennessee. Kentucky's going to be better. I was in Kentucky last week for a couple of days, and now define better. I think they really want to get to a bowl, but they got a veteran quarterback in Patrick Towles. They've got good running backs, and so they're going to be better. They're going to beat somebody this year they're not supposed to.
Missouri gets lost, and it's geography. We still we don't think about them that often, but my gosh, they have dominated the East the last couple of years, and they hardly get a mention. I'm guilty of it sometimes. I just stop and forget about Gary Pinkel, who's coached as good as anybody has. So
yeah, well, believe me, I've done it. I'm guilty of that, and I've heard from the Missouri fans about it too. So
I bet you have.
But then again, Missouri was in a situation last year that things fell right for them. They got blown out by Georgia.
Yeah.
But they won the rest of the games that they had to win. They went on the road and beat Tennessee.
They
beat
Carolina?
Arkansas. South Carolina. So they won the games they had to win to get back to Atlanta.
Why is Kentucky not having a spring game?
Oh, they're renovating the stadium. They're doing a $120 million facelift to Commonwealth Stadium, and so it was not available for them to have a spring game.
Final question for Mr. College Football, Tony Barton. Always good to get up with you and talk about football this time of the year when we're getting to see some activity. We have an idea of who's suiting up and what's the problems they're having off the field and the coaching staff's getting aligned, what have you. We haven't talked about the Western Division at all, and we haven't talked about the fact that the SEC is being left out in the cold these days when it comes around to the playoffs. Let's talk first about everybody's on the Auburn bandwagon. Are they going to be as good as everybody thinks now? They got Will Muschamp as the D coordinator.
Well, I think the key is having Jeremy Johnson at quarterback. I mean, Nick Marshall did a very nice job at quarterback for them, but Jeremy Johnson is the complete package. He throws the ball much better. Duke Williams back at wide receiver. They're just going to be a very, very dynamic kind of an offense. Now, so the question becomes, defensively they had the same kind of struggles that South Carolina had. They just were not very good. And the question is, can Will make an immediate difference? Now, the possibility is there. They got 8 starters coming back. A kid, Carl Lawson, who was great 2 years ago, is back for Will. And so if they can get better, I think they're going to be I think with them and Alabama, I think Alabama, Auburn, and Ole Miss are the teams that everybody's looking at right now. Alabama, of course, has got to find a quarterback, but they've recruited so well. They've got so many good players, and I think Derrick Henry, their running back, is going to have a monster year.
Yeah. All right, SEC, they're going to get back into the playoffs this year, or you think we're going to be another year when they're looking up to the rest of them?
I think the SEC champion. It's going to take something, I think, fairly extraordinary for the SEC champion not to get in. Now, if everybody's 11-2, then it could get kind of close. But I still think that when all is said and done, the SEC champ will be there.
It's got to figure out how to get better, like Urban Meyer has. Boy, he gets better every year in December. And what an incredible performance by the Ohio State football team under Meyer this past year. Tony, it's always a pleasure to have you. All the best to you. We'll talk to you again hopefully this summer as we get ready for the Sawdust Trail once again around the SEC. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Tony Barnhart, Mr. College Football from the SEC Network and the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Take a break. Come back on the other side right here on Buddy Sports Page.
A place where we're mediocre hosts, but we have great guests week in and week out. WOCA, The Source.
There. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Enjoy a round of golf in one of Central Florida's finest courses and help a great cause Monday, May 11th, when Life South Community Blood Centers hosts a golf tournament to benefit the 5 Points of Life Foundation. The scramble will be held at Golden Ocala with registration and lunch at 11 and a shotgun start at 12:30. The cost is $200 per person, which includes a player gift package. To register, call Life South at 352-224-1728 or visit 5pointsoflife.org.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Dr. Stephen Robert Stein. He's an orthopedic surgeon and an historian. He's written a book called The Oath. It's an historical novel about the Holocaust, 2 doctors who survived Auschwitz and came to America to practice medicine.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then Hank Whittier, executive director of Vets Helping Vets, will be hosting a 1-hour special version of Veterans News with his special guest, Dr. Mark Knapp.
Michelle Perry is a consumer tech expert. She'll be giving us technology insight into how people use technology.
And then Diane Storch will be on. She's written a delightful book called Words to Dream On, bedtime Bible stories and prayers.
Michael Shine is an historian. His book is called John Surratt, the Lincoln assassin who got away.
And then Michelle Hodges and Misty Knutson will be on. They're talking about the new cardiovascular services being offered at West Marion Community Hospital. All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Skip ice cream and have gelato. Yeah, it tastes rich because it's denser than ice cream. Gelato, you should know, has half the fat of most ice creams because it's made with milk, not cream. Go ahead and order the pad thai. Just stick it in the fridge. Eat the cold leftovers the next day. You want the resistant starch. Punctuality is one of the most difficult behaviors to change since it's deeply rooted in a person's personality.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
If you haven't heard by now, I can imagine you haven't. You may have been in your office today and haven't gotten the final verdict. I think some people were a little surprised that it happened this quick, although they've been sequestered for 7 days. watched a lot of the proceedings this morning on CNN. They interviewed the juries. Some people said you could not convict a celebrity who had lots of money and a great lawyer based on circumstantial evidence.
O.J. Simpson got found not guilty because of circumstantial evidence, lots of money, celebrity.
But give it up for the prosecutor up in Massachusetts. Found guilty, all charges, sentenced to life, and he's got 2 more pending trials of murder. Aaron Hernandez, the former Florida Gator, All-American, a guy that was a very key part of the national championships at Florida, today met his Waterloo. He was sentenced, and when they said guilty, the whole thing reverberated throughout the courtroom. Very emotional, apparently a commentary from the mother of Odin Lloyd, who was killed by Hernandez.
Yeah.
And she was very, very emotional. And I think a lot of people were surprised it happened. But
that's Ursula Ward, by the way, is Odin Lloyd's mother.
Yeah. So that happened, and I guess it goes to show you that justice can prevail, even over money, celebrity, whatever. I got to tell you, and I know this is not a popular thing to say, based on the Aaron Hernandez that I had a chance to interact with, some kind of extensively in the interview I did, I didn't see this coming. Because it seemed to me at the time, based on what I could tell, and I'm not a judge, I can't, who knows? But it looked like he had his life on the verge of turning around.
He had just signed a multi-million-dollar contract.
$40 million with the Patriots.
For 7 years, wasn't it? 6 years, I think?
Whatever it was. And, of course, even Robert Kraft kind of stood up for him a little bit, and he said he didn't do it, he wasn't there, whatever, although later he mentioned
Kraft had to get on the witness stand.
Yeah. And here was a very powerful testimony, especially when he said that he was told by Hernandez's boss, don't worry about it. When the timeline comes out, I'm not going to be guilty because I was at a club that night. And it was said later that the jury knew better because they knew the timeline.
Right, exactly.
And so they knew he was guilty. When Kraft said that was really one of the damning factors.
He had lied to Kraft.
Right, to Kraft. So anyway, if you wonder about how did people get hoodwinked on a guy like this, did he go crazy? Did he smoke enough crack so he lost his mind? What was going on with him? Because when he came to Florida with the background he had, it was coming off the death of his father. And he came to Florida, he was really, really sinking. And he got thrown a lifeline by the coaches and players at Florida. I know the Pouncey brothers hung around with him a lot. They tried to sort of escort him around campus, keep him going in the straight direction.
But don't get on the bandwagon that Urban Meyer was a good guy and he stuck up for his kids, and that, because everybody knows that you heard all the people, the naysayers, that there's just Urban Meyer recruiting criminals. Now, you know what people say.
What did you just listen to in the production room?
Wait till you hear that. We're going to have that after the break. Powerful, powerful stuff. You still hadn't won me over yet for how he left the program.
I'm really not trying to win anybody over, by the way. I'm really not. I'm just saying that the evidence speak for what it is. You make your own judgment.
But I don't think he's the.
I'm going to say one thing clear. I'm not defending Aaron Hernandez.
And you're not defending. No. But the rap Urban Meyer got when he left this program was that of a bad guy. And from the couple times you've interviewed him here on the radio, the things I've listened to him say, I didn't, I'm not in his corner, and you don't have to defend Urban Meyer. He's a national championship winning coach. His merit stands on his own. But there's a lot about Urban Meyer people just don't know, and they make assumptions without knowing that. And I'm learning that through interviews that I'm hearing.
Well, all you can know is what you know. And from the standpoint of what I know, which is not a lot, I do know there were some things that were said and things that were done. And obviously, Aaron Hernandez didn't take the advice. But there was an effort made on behalf of people to save that guy.
And you'll hear from his own mouth some of that.
In an interview I conducted in January of 2007 with the killer himself. That's what he is, And
convicted killer, convicted murderer.
Maybe a serial killer,
right.
But serial killer. Aaron Hernandez found guilty of all charges today. On the other side, we're going to hear a little bit from that interview coming up next right here on Buddy Sports Page.
Very powerful interview coming up next on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
Does osteoarthritis bring frustration with every step? Do pain and stiffness affect your everyday activities? If so, you may be interested in a research study for the treatment of pain associated with osteoarthritis. Rinstar Medical Research is conducting a research study of an investigational medication for individuals between the ages of 40 and 75 and who have been treated for the pain associated with osteoarthritis for at least 3 months. Qualified participants will receive study-related medical care and investigational medication. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. To learn more about this osteoarthritis study, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Again, that's 352-629-5800. Whenever you're searching for an attorney, you want somebody with knowledge who has a commitment to our community and our state. Such is the case with Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer. In everything from car and other motor vehicle accidents, work accidents, personal injury, and wrongful death cases. Daniel L. Hightower also handles Social Security disability and bankruptcy. Call him today at 352-629-7777 or check out danhightower.com. Daniel L. Hightower, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Eyewitnesses couldn't believe what they were seeing, a one-man gyrocopter landing on the lawn outside the U.S. Capitol.
It just seemed so mellow. It was just kind of drifting down, and it just seemed, and it wasn't landing near a building or anything, so it seemed, and it had a U.S. Post Office sign on it.
I thought that's how they were delivering the mail.
The area was cordoned off as police sent in the bomb squad to check out the mini-chopper. The pilot was arrested. Nobody was hurt. Using tax day as a platform, the president contrasted his tax policies with those of the congressional GOP.
Their tax plan would give the average millionaire and billionaire a $50,000 tax cut.
President Obama was taking part in a town hall-style meeting in Charlotte, North Carolina. Rising oil prices and an economy trying to bounce back from a bad winter made for an up day on Wall Street. The Dow rose 76, the Nasdaq climbed 34, while the S&P closed up 11. Fox News. We report, you decide.
And now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. A man said he recently informed his wife he's going to start waxing his chest. Only because the waxing place is right near Golfsmith, and trade-in days are almost over. When you trade in your old clubs, you get a 50% bonus towards new ones. He's got a lot of clubs to trade in, so he's going to wax his chest, eyebrows, back, and, well, trade-in days at Golfsmith is in its final days, so hurry in. Golfsmith, anything for golf.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 4433 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 4433.
Ooh, a xylophone. Sounds dreamy.
Yeah, they don't make them like this anymore, Robin. I'm shipping it to the Musical Historical Society.
And you're packing it like that?
What, this won't work?
Why don't you take it to the Personal Service Center at the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street in Ocala? Just look for the yellow signs.
Great idea. That'll save me a lot of time.
The passing of time.
Personal Service Center makes sending packages easy.
And quick. Call 789-6683.
For the Personal Service Center.
The biggest air show in the South is back in Lakeland. Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo celebrates its 41st year all week long, April 21st through April 26th. This year promises to be bigger, faster, and louder than ever before. Experience the heart-thumping, awe-inspiring performance of the Breitling Jet Team's U.S. debut and the Air Force Thunderbirds. See thousands of aircraft both in the air and on display, and an open flight line of historic warbirds. Sun and Fun offers fun for the whole family with daily air shows, a kids zone, a classic car show, and lots of great food. Florida residents can make it a weekend the family will remember by coming Saturday, April 25th and Sunday, April 26th to experience 3 shows for the price of one. See the Breitling team perform at 3 p.m. Stay for the night air show, which includes aerobatic flyers, pyrotechnics, and a dazzling fireworks display. And come back Sunday for an additional show. Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo, celebrating its 41st year all week long, April 21st through April 26th in Lakeland. It's bigger, it's faster, it's louder, it's Sun and Fun.
Many of us are thinking of continued education for better job opportunities, and here is the place to learn what is available to you right in your own backyard. On Wednesday, April 22nd, Webster University, the College of Central Florida, St. Leo University, and the University of Central Florida will be our guests at 10 a.m. to let you know about the programs offered by each. So be sure to tune in to AM Ocala Live on WOCA The Source at 10 a.m. April 22nd to learn what higher education opportunities are available for you.
Former New England Patriot star Aaron Hernandez found guilty of first-degree murder in the deadly late-night shooting, sentenced to life in prison, sealing the downfall of an athlete who once had a $40 million contract and a great career ahead of him. Hernandez, 25, looked to his right, pursed his lips, and sat down after the jury forewoman announced him guilty in the slaying of Odin Lloyd, a 27-year-old landscaper and semi-pro football player who was dating the sister of Hernandez's fiancée. The conviction carried a mandatory sentence of life without parole and automatically triggered an appeal to Massachusetts' highest court. No date has been set for that appeal. That's the ESPN story about what happened today to Aaron Hernandez. There are always several sides to the story. Of course, the one we want to believe, the one we don't. When you come upon a story like this, when someone is such a central figure, such a terrible figure, a reprehensive action by a person who was once held in high esteem by the Gator Nation.
Walked hand in hand with Tim Tebow.
Yeah, and had a part of something that was so special at Florida, from a coaching staff and players who tried to rehabilitate him, to get him back on track after the death of his father, when he was going in a downward spiral. You ask the question, what happened to Aaron Hernandez? You ask this about a lot of people. There's Lawrence Phillips, who just killed, may have killed his cellmate in jail. What happens that they go bad? You don't know. Of course, the criminal mind works in strange ways. Was he smoking crack cocaine? Did he actually have a good relationship with his coaches and players who he convinced, at least, that he was trying to bring his life together? And then there's the other story that a coach told me. They felt like he made some progress with Aaron Hernandez in Gainesville. And then he went back, and the worst thing that happened to him was he got drafted by the New England Patriots. He went right back to the Northeast, where he had grown up in the hood, and all the things that happened to him followed. That's a lot of theories. But in the end, you can only know what you can know. We're going to try to put this in context. I dug this out today. I wanted to hear from my own ears once again. This interview, which took place in 2007, January, after the national championship team, when I asked Aaron Hernandez about his season, the teammates, and about his coach, Urban Meyer. And it's a little difficult to discern because it was a telephone conversation, but it was the most extensive interview probably he ever did at Florida, 35 minutes. At that time, I had a glimpse into the guy I thought I knew that was Aaron Hernandez. But you can make judgments for yourself. I'm not intending to try to make you convinced that he was a good person who had a bad break or that he didn't do something wrong. What he did was reprehensible. But this is the Aaron Hernandez that we knew at that time, and you just listen and you make judgments for yourself, because I don't know if he ever spoke that frankly to anybody in college football. I just happened to be lucky enough to work on a book, Urban Meyer's book, and I was able to get to him and talk to him to get him, you heard the interview, to divulge some of the things that was on his mind. And here is that interview, thanks to Tom Schmitz, who worked diligently to enhance it, because it's on a phone and it's not totally clear, but do the best you can.
Well, you're actually asking him about Coach Meyer's influence on him once he got to school here at Florida.
That's correct, and here's that interview with Aaron Hernandez.
Just the day I walked on campus, we kind of just bonded together, and I actually came to college right off my father passing away, so I actually had a little emptiness in me, and he kind of filled it, and kind of had a little father figure, someone I could look up to, and I was heading down like the wrong path, making bad decisions, and he always was there for me, and even when I made bad decisions, he always took me through them and led me in the right direction and knew how to talk to me and showed me actually love that I needed at the time. And even to this day, we're real close, and I look up to him, and when I need him, he's there for me. And on the coaching side, he always wants the best of his players. Sometimes it seems like he doesn't like you and stuff like that, but he knows how to play games that get you to reach your potential. And he actually, like, not many coaches in this world actually care really about the players. He truly cares about his players and wants the best for them, wants them to have a great education, and wants them to do stuff out of football when they're done with football. And he has players over his house all the time, and he truly cares about his players, and especially me and him have a bond where, like, I love him as like a father figure and as well as a coach. And we have a great bond, and I think for the rest of our life we'll be in contact and have a bond the same way we do now. Because, like, not many coaches, like, I think out there really care about what the players do once they leave, because it truly is a business. Because if he doesn't win games, then he won't be here. You understand that? But he really cares about his players. I was going down the wrong path, and he really made me into a better person than I am today. I still have ways to go to really become a true man, and he helped me on the way, and he's still helping me, and hopefully we stay close for the rest of my life. I wasn't a person that loved to go to class. I wasn't really a school person. I liked to party and stuff like that, and I didn't want anyone to get close to me, because when my father passed away, I kind of like tried to keep distance from people, and he kept talking to me, and eventually he had me go. He asked me to come up in the morning to read the Bible with him, and talk about life with him and let stuff out. And I told him everything about my life, and he felt how I was feeling, and took me through there was these little Bible scriptures. Like every day, there was one for each day, and he would talk about it with me and describe it if I didn't understand it, and it just helped me, like, every day think about, like, what I was doing right, what I was doing wrong, and he just helped me think about things I did before I did them, and now I really am a better person because of that, and I'm not saying I make all right decisions now, but he kind of brought me under his wing and actually showed that he really cared about me, and it made me actually a better player and a better person, and that's another reason why I love Coach Meyer.
Wow, buddy, that's that coming from the voice of a convicted murderer talking about how Coach Meyer had helped him start towards the path of turning his life around, and then he gets away from Coach Meyer, and we see what his life ended up becoming. That's pretty powerful that you see the effort was put in, but that proves that the effort can be put in by people, but if the person himself doesn't want to change the lifestyle or where they come from, all the help, all the Bible scripture, everything in the world sometimes can't change what may end up being a serial killer, but definitely a convicted murderer. That's pretty powerful. Wow.
My question to you would be, as a person who's listening from just the first time today, when you hear that voice, you hear that person talking, what do you think of that, and what do you get from that, and what is your feeling about that person talking at that time?
What I got from that, not if I hadn't known anything about it, was that this was a young man who was, like a ship cast out in the sea without any anchors, and he was looking for someone to gravitate to and someone to help him learn what it took to be a man. And he said Coach Meyer was trying to do those things for him. This was a guy who, remember, Tim Tebow helped out of a scuffle at a restaurant and nightclub in Gainesville in 2007. This was a guy who the Pounceys stood with solidarity by after he was arrested for this murder originally. This was a guy that people thought enough of to show compassion towards, and it looks like he just turned a shoulder to all that.
Yeah, you wonder what happened to all that. Getting up early in the morning, going up to Meyer's office and sharing Bible verses, trying to change people. And by the way, I think you have to keep trying with players. You go as far as you can go with them. The more I'm around coaches, and I've know some of them fairly well, as you know, and have long conversations about them when they're really talking, not coach speak, but talking from their heart. I'm talking about over a period of an hour or two. Coaches I know now, I've talked to recently, they have a really special relationship with their players. They are like their family members. They love those players, and they will defend them to the 8 days of the end of the earth. They really love them. And Aaron Hernandez was kind of hard to love, when he came to Florida. But Urban Meyer gave him some love, and he used that word several times in that interview.
He did.
You wonder what went wrong and what happened, this terrible thing he did. And I have no sympathy for him whatsoever. And I know Urban Meyer feels very, very badly about it. And how much do he feel that he invested of himself so much in a man who basically bottomed out and hit and became a heinous figure, a criminal and a murderer.
And a lot can be, people say, it was unlucky that he went back right to where he came from in the Northeast. But there was allegations of him, although the civil suit was settled out of court, there's allegations of him shooting a man in the face in Miami. So maybe it's not where he was, but who he was that really was bad.
Here's the thing I take away. We never knew the man or the
Never
boy.
knew him.
Never knew him, who he was, and consequently, we have what we have. And I would sit here and tell you I've interviewed literally hundreds of athletes, if not thousands, it seems like. And I'm not too easily fooled. I can usually kind of see through most of the things. And I thought what he said was so powerful when he said it at that time. We ended the book with the last couple of pages of him saying how much he loved Urban Meyer. That's what I thought of it at the time. And I feel like an idiot now, but that's the point. You take then, you take now, you think, there's another part of that tape you didn't hear. Talk about what a great night it was when they beat Alabama and won the SEC. And how proud of he was to have his family there, his mom and all these people, about that special moment, being on top of the world, and then the national championship with the confetti coming down, all that sort of stuff. That was the top of the top of the top. Now he is in the lowest of the low of the low right now.
As far as you can go.
As
low.
far as you can go. What you got for headlines? Anything? We'll take a break.
We need to take a break.
Well, come back and Tom will give you headlines right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
They say diamonds are always a girl's best friend. April is Diamond Month at Goss & Son Jewelers. Check out their Tacori engagement and bridal sets and beautiful diamond anniversary band. Hand-selected by the Goss family, Teddy and Jerry Goss and Cammie McLeod. You can choose these beautiful diamonds just for you or your loved one. Visit Goss & Son Jewelers downtown on the square and let the diamond consultants help you select a one-of-a-kind piece. Goss & Son, downtown for 65 years.
Recently on Southern Pigskin Tonight, Coach Steve Spurrier talked about quarterbacks going into spring practice.
We don't know who it's going to be yet, buddy. We got 3 that'll fight it out this spring. I doubt that I will name one at the end of the spring because we got an incoming freshman, Lorenzo Nunez. It's a tremendous athlete, good runner, and good passer.
So join us every Thursday at 5 p.m. for Southern Pigskin Tonight, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. Are you in the process of planning your wedding reception? Or are you planning that birthday party for someone special? Or maybe you're just looking to throw a party for yourself? Are you in charge of this year's company outing and looking for something fresh and fun to do? Well, KT Entertainment is your answer to all those questions. We provide music, trivia, and karaoke for everybody's enjoyment. If you would like to get in touch with KT Entertainment and find out about our competitive prices, call us at 352-512-2611. That's 352-512-2611. Or you can find us on the web at kt4fun.com. That's KT, the number 4, fun.com. So remember, whether it's a wedding reception, a party, or a company outing, it's KT Entertainment for all your karaoke, trivia, or musical needs.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
My name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine at A Better You Healthcare's Pokin' for the People Community Acupuncture. Join us every Monday at 4 p.m. for a relaxing and therapeutic community acupuncture session with like-minded, health-conscious individuals from our community. Pricing is only $35. Group sessions involve yoga breathing and acupuncture for the benefit of stress, anxiety, and depression. Unwind and start your week off right. If stress is leaving you a mess, you need a checkup from the neck up. When you're feeling blue, come to A Better You. A Better You Healthcare, just behind the Paddock Mall on 27th Avenue. For further details, visit abetteryouhealthcare.com or call 615-5566. Again, that number is 615-5566.
What are the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking? Will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Sports Page. Wrapping up the sports page, we already touched on the Aaron Hernandez trial, so I won't give that to you as a headline. What I will tell you is the Duke team that takes the floor next November will bear little resemblance to the one that captured the national championship 9 days ago. This according to Yahoo Sports. The Blue Devils will have to replace 4 starters who accounted for 71.4% of their points, 58.6% of their rebounds, and 76.7% of their assists, as point guard Tyus Jones becomes the third Duke freshman to leave the program Wednesday morning. He joins classmates Jahil Okafor and Justice Winslow into caring for the NBA draft. And, of course, senior guard Quinn Cook was already the fourth starter leaving the Duke Blue Devils, buddy. So Duke's not going to lose. Duke and Kentucky not going to be the teams that were on the floor in the Final Four this year, next year.
Kind of how the game's played right now, Tom.
Jameis Winston, lofty draft staff, according to Yahoo Sports, won't be the only similarity he shares with the future NFL Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. His Wonderlic test score rivals Manning's too. Multiple league sources told Yahoo Sports that Winston scored a 27 out of 50, 1 point shy of the 28 Manning scored prior to the 98 draft. It also stacks up favorably with several recent Super Bowl winners, including New Orleans Saints' Drew Brees, 28, Seattle Seahawks' Russell Wilson, 28, Joe Flacco of the Baltimore Ravens, 27, and Pittsburgh Steelers' Ben Roethlisberger at 25. Wonderlic scores are becoming less relevant in draft equations. However, they still carry weight at some decision-making positions as quarterback is, according to AFC personnel source. So Jameis Winston did okay on the Wonderlic. And finally, buddy, a scary story. NCAA committee members say they have received violent threats after documents have been released in a former assistant University of Southern California football coach's lawsuit against the organization. The LA Times reported Tuesday that the infractions committee members received unspecified threats after documents the NCAA sought to seal were made public. They're part of the lawsuit by former running back coach Todd McNair. He sued the NCAA for defamation after the Reggie Bush scandal. The football program, as you know, was banned for 2 years from postseason play, but people sending violent threats to the NCAA infraction committee members over their decision against USC a couple years ago. That's scary stuff.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I had a feeling when this whole thing started with the committee, the human element, that there's some nutbags out there when it comes to football rankings. I'm not as surprised at all. We probably don't know really how many.
For the record, Tom James was not one of the people calling the committee.
Well, he probably would have, but he wouldn't have threatened anybody. He was very unhappy. So, yes, I want to thank our guest today earlier, Jeff Halcom, on 4 o'clock, along with the mayor, Kent Gwynn, on his way to the funeral for Officer Forsyth, and also our
humans in disguise.
Yeah, Jared
and Elliot.
There you go. And also Tom Schmitz, Tony Barnhart, and Tom Schmitz for a great job of editing the Aaron Hernandez piece. So on behalf of him, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great night, everybody. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive